Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Why no first?
I have no idea. Oh, there you go. It's just a delay. Also, I'm happy to introduce one of my favourite retro games, Fearless Sun 64. Exclusive for the 3DO. How are you doing, friend? Watto and welcome. Come on in, come on in. I shall update the tab. It puts you in second behind Otrizi. Wolfgrad, Watto and welcome. Lance. Fearless managed to get the quick draw this time. Well, MDH, you know, I can't destroy all the world's ills, but I can help with that. I can help with that. Oh, Fearless, that's good to hear. I know you had to skip, was it, I can't remember if it was Gym or Seattle Indies. And, yeah. I am so behind on my work stuff that I should be pulling a few late ones, but I have not been able to. So I'm just trying to float in the vibes today. And I think I'm succeeding so far, you know? Some homies who are heading out to go visit family were like, yo, we're gonna be in Greenwood for like an hour and a half. Do you want to get food? I'm like, fuck yeah. And so, bless them, they ended up heading to the one of the nearby Pagliacci's that you can set in, ordered a massive pizza, and then we're like, I guess we're watching our weight. I was like, you cheeky mother hubbards. They bought me a pizza and some beers. It's lovely. Dustin Watto and welcome. Where are your adventures taking you today? I saw you went to Beth's, which I'm very happy. Because with Beth's being on regular people hours, not Will hours, I haven't been there in a while. But it still feels iconic. Sorry, let me say my hellos. So, Wolfgrad, MDH, Shitaru, Legend, J-Post, and of course, Dustin, and Mahoffman. Watto and welcome. I'm sorry, it's too fun to say it as Mahoffman. It seems like a really good, like, surname from the Midlands. Hey, Jamami, if somehow my overtly British tones can help you get a decent night's sleep, then I'm doing my job right. I always worry that most of my videos aren't great sleep aids because of the occasions where either something makes me jump, or anytime we encounter something adorable, and my involuntary look at his little face scream comes out. Dice Goddess, Watto and welcome.
During lunch I accidentally got some ketchup in my eye. Bad idea in hindsight.
Bravo, bravo. No, I like that one. And I need to say another thank you to Miyoshi though. Yesterday was so weird. So weird. Dustin's off to Discovery Park. Discovery Park, is that the one where bloody the gasworks is? Well, either way, you're going to have yourself a bloody good time.
Have you considered to, in fact, look at their little face?
You know what, Wolfcrad, I hadn't considered. Look at a little face! Thank you. And Chitaru, thank you for filling the pint glass. Yeah, Lance, thank you and thank you. The great thing about Terrible Days is they have to end. Thanks, Kronos, for that one. And you know what? Every new day, we get to write a new story, right? And today is a story of big swords and extreme violence. Neoshido, I was just talking about you. I wanted to say another massive thank you for the huge donation yesterday. I was so all over the place. Yesterday was a bad day. And through it all, you put in a massive amount of cash. And I just, yeah. Look, I try not to, who am I kidding? I talk about this all the time. But you have to understand that in this, the year of Shadow the Hedgehog 2024, fuck knows what next year will be. But in the survive till 25 methodology, thanks to you lot, I am actually surviving. And like, that's not something that will cease being a huge deal. So thank you. Square Peg Watto and welcome. And yes, so Chornerus, I'm going to do some therapy sword today. I don't know for how long. I know there are plans in play for stuff and things, but it's all Greek to me right now. So what I thought was, we'll do some therapy sword today, because I need it. And then either tomorrow we do more therapy sword, because it's great for discussion, or we do like a little grab bag of some of the comedy stuff, because there's a few other things. Oh, Dustin, thank you. The gin book is right here. Dustin got me a... Oh, what the fuck? 40 of the best cocktails for serious gin lovers. I just saw who the fucking author is. Tell me if you recognise that name. It's obviously not DJ, but that's fucking funny. That's fucking funny. I have to send that to him.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Could
The
be.
Big 7-0.
The big 7-0. Hindle, how are you doing, friend? What? Oh, welcome. Hello, hello. There's always a Dan. There's always a lighthouse.
Survive in 25.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the next catchphrase, but... And apparently we're doing trains as well. Okay. Train to Poison Swamp. So far, this current area we're in is the one that's kicked the most PP out of me. And there isn't even a single Poison Swamp to be found. It's just good old-fashioned Dark Soulsian nonsense. I gotta admit, I don't hate it. No, I'm serious. I'm literally sending that to Here Are the People Dan Jones right this very second.
Be careful tempting fate there.
Are you telling me I need to prepare myself for a poison swamp? Or that it's going to get worse? Also, yes. But I gotta admit, friends, despite looking like I've... Oh shit!
Choo-choo. Choo-choo.
Very doubtful, fucking thank you! Yeah. The train now arriving at Platform 3, Upper Bufflington. Platform 3, Upper Bufflington. Next calling at Seven Oaks, Cockfosters, and... Blah.
Drink gin responsibly, don't spill it.
Exactly. No gin crime. Although, I did realise that sometimes I cannot contain the weebery, especially if my weeb interests and my love of gin intersect. I had to delete a post on TikTok, as I was going to tear into somebody for incorrectly making a prairie oyster. Does anyone else care about this in the universe? No. No, it's not even a big deal. It's still up for debate whether or not prairie oysters were a thing outside of Cowboy Bebop.
If you don't like meeting people, are you socially vegan?
Ah, what you did there, I saw it. No, seriously, thank you all. Got a freaking train going. Oh. Well, to the bulletproof skater. Like, seriously, that is a lovely thing to say. And if I can make anybody's day even just a little bit better, then I'm doing my job right. So, thank you. Today's going to be talking about Steam stuff and a combination of battling bad words with giant therapy sword and probably getting my shins kicked in by more gold cloaks. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And Lance, I did see that your missus was playing Pacific Drive last night. I did, however, miss the panic run across the map.
Stop that incessant
Yo!
clicking.
And whoever that is, thank you. Also, forgive me, friends, if I keep fussing with my hair. It's too long right now, but PAX is like 2 weeks away, so getting my hair cut now would be silly. What I need to do is get it done next week. Might even get my nails did. So yeah, please forgive me if I'm fiddling. Shitaru, thank you for keeping the pint glass clear and pint glass filled as best you can. Ehrman, that's another $10 to keeping all of this afloat. Thank you. Yeah, Lance, I'm in that. It's not quite. PAX isn't quite soon enough to get a new, like a fresh cut.
Level 4?
Welcome to Platform 4. Calling at Cockfosters, York, Upper Biblington, Whimsy Slap on Shire, Shonda Mayfield. See, I could have been the announcer guy. Although what I do like is that the announcer for the tube.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Ooh, Wolfcrat, I kinda like that. If at first you don't succeed, try a gin. Sorry, I know nobody else cares about the Prairie Oyster thing, but as an obsessive fan of Cowboy Bebop, one, a Prairie Oyster is made with gin, not rye, and it's Worcestershire sauce. It's not a little bit of Tabasco, but not bitters. You have a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and a whole ass fucking egg, and you knock it back. And it's supposed to be a hangover cure. Whimsy Slap on Shire, you're right. It does sound like an alternate name for Thank Goodness You're Here, or at least a section in it. Okie dokie. Hindle, only when I have to think about it. Because I always just call it Liam Perrins growing up, right? There's oyster sauce in the household. Okay. No, it's one of those things where if I don't think about it, I can say it no problem. If I think about it, then I try and cram too many vowels in there and things get weird. Okay. The train has but 2 minutes left on it till Cockfosters. Actually a real place. And then once the train has concluded, I've got some fun stuff to banter with. The things I wanted to talk to you all about today was Steam's doing a bunch of changes. Not in a bad way, but in a like, here's things you should know. Like a Will educational segment. And after that, I kind of want to talk about I want to talk about the current brain rot around Helldivers 2 and how the live service push we've had over the last few years is definitely starting to have an effect on users in a way that I wasn't expecting. So I'd like to talk about both of those. Because aside from that, like, everybody's quiet this week because it's Gamescom into PAX. So it's like all of the European press and PR people are gearing up for Gamescom, all the US, like Canada, etc. They're all gearing up for PAX Prime or PAX West. So that's why there isn't really anything coming out like big announcement-wise. So, great week to announce your game. A terrible week for anything resembling drama, because the people are hungry. And Jamami, so nothing happened, but I want to talk about the discussion around it. Hunt Showdown gets its 2.10. Oh, lovely. I've not had the chance to play Hunt Showdown in so long, but Marty Cow, streamer friendo, plays it loads. And I basically live vicariously through her. Because real life kicks my ass on so many different games, I don't have time to play. So I just kind of... I have my specific friends that I can watch them play stuff. I'm still playing The Forest. And like, I could talk your ear off, friends, about how good it is. I actually have done 2 people in bars. While we were at dinner last night, some rando actually complimented me on how well I was explaining The Forest to my dinner friendos. But friendzo, thank you for a massive train to start the day. That was nearly $50 and bits. That's a fucking ton of cash. You know it just goes to keeping this place going, keeping me alive. So, thank you. Alright. It's quite possible that post-PAX I will have to try and refill my coffers and whatnot just for survival mode. So expect bounties, expect chaos. I think the Snareway to Snevin's still going to happen. The problem with the Snareway to Snevin is, yes, we can do it faster if we do it as a squad, but I cannot ask you lot to stay awake for 2 days. So yeah, so Fearless, I was considering Green Hell, but Green Hell feels like it has more of a pronounced narrative, which is something that I wanted to save to show with you lot. The reason why I'm playing the Forest without you all is because I really want to play it boring. And that is to say, like, I want to be able to build my weird little houseboat. I want to be able to spend days on end doing nothing but, like, going and getting some water, going and getting some fishies, having little birds jump on my hand and be cute and shit. You know what, Jamami? Fair. Maybe that's what we can do then. We can start the Snareway to Snevin together and then see who keeps it going. Now the question of whether or not I should have the snail continuously moving whilst... Because what I'm going to do is just put a camping bed behind me. Like, I can't physically do 50 hours awake and streaming anymore. Okay, I could, but the cost would be great. And it wouldn't be fun for you lot. So yeah, you get to hear me snore in the background. But I don't know why, but it's a challenge. I don't know if you've all seen, there's a comedian who's been doing a stream where he's trying to complete Grand Theft Auto 4, but all the cars have been turned up to like 1,000% speed, turning the entire city of fake New York into this like high-speed explosive missile range. And the gentleman said something very, very interesting about like the nature of impossible challenges and how we're drawn to them. And it really resonated with me. It's why I like doing things like Getting Over It, Ichi's Zone, stuff like that. So, I don't know. Also, Sadlin is desperate to play another round of depth. So, I'll put a bounty up. We can have somebody We'll come up with some, I don't know, ludicrous sponsorship deal or something. You know, do like another meme sponsorship thing. And then you'll continue to get eaten by sharks.
Did you say chair stream? Because I heard chair stream.
I mean, Shitaru, is it? Ah, okay, so Hindle. The reason why I'm playing the Forest for myself, because I want to play it boring, but also because it's looking like Abiotic Factor is actually going to be content and story complete this year. I'm currently putting together a group of people who I know can stream it well, for those of you who won't be able to play it and want to see a playthrough of it. I did see the update Hindle, and I kind of wish I hadn't, because now I know I'm going to have to go underwater at some point. And I hate it. I hate it. But the next big craft and survival game that I want to stream with all of you lot is Abiotic Factor. And I think I can put a good team together, you know? Even if it ends up being me, Sadlin, and Nick, which kind of looks like if we were all playing as the same hero shooter character, but with different skins. We have, you know, that team basically has the diversity of a tech startup. But I really like playing video games with those friendos.
As I've had the fortune of telling 3 separate folks this week, thank you for playing the fascinating games that I'll never have the time and or skill to do myself.
Legend, it is my pleasure and my honor. Like, that was the whole focal point behind, you know, streaming. Because you're all busy, Mother Hubbards. For most of you, I am either your, you know, late night second screen, or I am your workday second screen, or your fuck, why isn't my game compiling second screen? Like, I understand acutely just how many incredible games there are and how little time there is. So that's my job, you know, bring you the weird stuff. And I understand I'm saying this on a day where we're going to be playing Elden Ring. But the reason that I'm forgiving myself is, one, Elden Ring is a masterclass across the board. And the brilliance in its minutiae is worth discussion and study. But also, it's a great background for talking about other things. There are some games that I want to show you all that do not allow for conversation, and that's okay. Oh, Moose says very shortly, my computer repair second screen. That sounds like you're about to kick the fuck out of your own PC, which is understandable. There we go. Yeah, well, and so Judica, that's why I've been doing the horror stuff as YouTube videos, because that way you can kind of pause it. And yes, Hindle, I can also turn into a dead frog and sneak up on people. However, right now, the path to Millennia, this whole fucking funhouse of fuckery, this is my little mountain to climb. I know, I could just fucking Jedi summon a bunch of you and do this. But I think this is the proof of the self right now, you know? Because, like, with all the other games, I played through them all before. You know, I played through all the Dark Souls series, I played through the base game of Bloodborne. This is the first of the Soulsian games where you lot played it before me. And, like, I love using the power of friendship to kick the shit out of bosses. It feels incredible. And it is a great example of how this game is way more accessible than it gets credit for. But this is the point where I need to prove that I can still do it. Oh no! Moose, that's not funny at all! No! Oh. Well, hopefully Moose, it ends up getting sorted. So, okay. So, on the subject of video games, I'm going to bring up the Steam store just so while we're talking about this, you have like visual aids. Steam have added a few little tweaks this week that have some lasting ramifications. Now, the first one is that you're no longer allowed to link to other places on your Steam store page. That includes other games on Steam. Now, there's a lot of theories as to why they've implemented this. Some people think that it's because of the aggressive... Okay, because the current strategy on Steam for success is wishlists, right? The more people wishlist your game before it comes out, the more it's visible on the platform, the more people see it, the more people wishlist it, etc., right? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But there's a lot of games that have taken to creating like fake Steam store assets and things like that to push people towards it. Or pushing people to places off-site to pre-order the games and stuff like that. I think it's more to stop shifty bullshit than it is anything else. Like, yeah, Wolfcat, it makes sense to me. It's also why they've now separated demos into their own pages. Because those also are part of the push, but they don't confuse as hard as they used to, right? You're all up to date on the Steam demo updates, right? Does anyone need like a little primer on that one? Just let me know if you do. So we have our usual breakdown from Hellbreach Vegas. Is that the full version now? Hellbreach Vegas is basically a Killing Floor-esque shooty gun bang. Looks fun. I have another chance to get stuck into it. And I believe Sam & Max and the Devil's Playhouse is a re-release of one of the old Telltale ones. And yes, those are multiple porn games on the new and trending. I'm not judging. But anyway. Oh, okay, Metal Monk does need a primer. Okay. So the TLDR, and the cool change that Valve have made is now demos can be their own pages, but those demos can link to the main game. So this kind of solves the problem of the prologue scenario, but also allows demos to become popular in their own right, outside of like Steam Next Fest. Because there's two strategies when it comes to like we'll call them a demo as a catch-all, but some people will do like a prologue, some will do just a straight up demo, others will do kind of like almost similar to like a vertical slice. There's lots of ways of doing this. Steam have now created it so that these demos and prologues and things like that can have their own page on Steam. And when you play it, you will be prompted, I think it's predominantly by email, to be like, hey, if you'd like to wishlist this game, you can go through here. But it also means that we can have this. So on New and Trending, we have new games coming. Top sellers, this is what's making the most cash on Steam right now. Fucking Counter-Strike and Call of Duty just hanging out there. But also, shout out to Cult of the Lamb. Popular upcoming is a weird nebulous one. It's partially based on wish lists, partially just fucking pulled from the void. Though shout out to the Crimson Diamond. That's one of our friendos games. A retro-inspired point-and-click that's coming out soon. Actually, let me just give you the link to that. Because for those of you who don't hang out in the wee hours, this game is going to slap. Rock Paper Shotgun did a really good write-up on it, and it is a friend's game. Anyway, Specials is pretty self-explanatory, but now we have this. And this is where it starts to really pop. This is trending free. This is not just... Hey! Oh shit! Yeah, I saw the Beamdog pack. Well, whoever that was, thank you. And we'll have a natter about that in a second. But this is really, really good. So this isn't a free-to-play trending page. This is demos and free games. So prologues, just have it and play it, but also, you know, interesting demo stuff. And the one I saw from this is, look at this sucker. Hang on, I'll bring this over here. So this is Frontline Crisis. And this speaks to my inner tower defense nerd. Look at that. Gorgeous pixel art, ridiculous premise, buttons up the wazoo. Let me bring that back again. And I wouldn't have known about this title otherwise. Now, and this is just for the demo of it, right? It's Frontline Crisis. But then we have things like this. Save teaser before dawn. Now, I don't know diddly squat about this. This is just to illustrate our point. But prologues tend to be... The reason teams do prologues is you basically can do a double dip on this. You get a demo that users can play and go, oh, I quite like this. And you have basically a playable vertical slice that you can take to publishers and be like, give me money! I want money so I can make a video game! And you have the potential to generate interest at the same time. Now, again, I don't know this title. I can't tell you whether this is good or bad or what have you. It seems to be a very, very... I don't want to say traditional, but it's a very post-Resi 7 first-person horror. So yeah, so Hindle, yeah, a bit like Dead Rising 2 Case Zero. But with Case Zero, that was at a very, very different time when, especially on like the Xbox storefront, you could do deals to put things front and center. Like Dead Rising 2 Case Zero was like a triple threat. It was a demo, it was a promotion, and it unlocked things for Dead Rising 2. So it was a way to kind of whip people up into a fervor. What, Legend? Yeah, see, you're getting it. You get it. Reviews. It is possible to now generate reviews on demos, thus meaning that you have a metric for demonstrating quality ahead of the game coming out. That's powerful. Now, obviously, that can swing both ways, because if you see in this lineup, Backrooms No Return Prologue, which is unfortunately it's currently sitting at a very negative setup. Oh, Vanderbeest. So we're currently talking about the Steam changes, and then we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about the brain rot around Helldivers 2, which kind of comes into the brain rot that communities are suffering post live service expansion. So yeah, Vanderbeest, thank you for filling the pint glass, and come on down. So if you've been watching any of my YouTubian nonsense, you know that I'm on a liminal space horror kicker right now. And so something like this is really interesting because, you know, the whole concept of pools has kind of been woven into the Backrooms nonsense. This is a free co-op survivally flavored nonsense. It has unfortunately garnered negative reviews. So it does mean that the pendulum swings both ways, but predominantly here, people are complaining about optimization. Now, what does this mean? This means that prologues are viable, but must be treated like an additional title. This could result in the old 2 demo situation, but in the past, demos only really had a value window that was very, very narrow. It is now possible to create things similar to Dead Rising Case Zero that could be standalone prologues and things like that, that would allow for the main title to continuously garner attention. Like, again, I know this doesn't seem like a big deal. Like, oh, it's just a change in demos. But this ranking on Steam's main page, plus the way demos are weighted, fucking brilliant. Yeah, Bulletproof. For the most part, if a game is getting very negative, either the title has done something the users really hate, or it has technical problems, right? Or it's a targeted attack by a bunch of dickheads, but that's another story. However, and I don't know if I put this in free games, just to offset this discussion, it's also a really good way to find games like this. Like, I don't know if you all are aware of the finding cats phenomenon on Steam, but there are a shit ton of these games where you just find kitties. I made a game with cats in it or the Bees series, and that's it. You know, there are a shitload of kitties in this super detailed art, and you just find them. It's a lovely little meditative, like, mini genre I've noticed popping up, and it's great. Also, with this one, they donate to the Humane Society, which is fucking brilliant. And for this one, the game is free, but the Stray Cats in Cozy Town Nightlights is $2, and that's what they donate. Like, that's really fucking cool. Hang on, so yeah, let me give you this. Because free games on Steam has always been a tricky thing to find, because a free game and free to play was really hard to differentiate within the service, in the platform. Now it's super easy. Like, honestly, whoever takes the Finding Cats formula and does like either a meta-narrative or a subversion of expectation is gonna make bank. You know? Because it's fascinating that we have these like little micro-genres on Twitch and not Twitch, lol, on Steam and in gaming, that because they don't make bank, and because their community is just bunch of people that just play it and go, that's a good game, you don't get noticed. Those are the gold mines. I will not dignify 5 laps at Freddy's. Yeah, Neo Shadow, a Finding Cat style Pony Island game. Let's fucking go. Anyway, the other thing I want to quickly show you, just in case some of you haven't seen this, this is also the how to find free games on Steam. So you click the little search icon, click special offers, and put the price down to free. Right now it's still Drawful 2, which is there. But just in case you ever wanted to know how I keep finding all those free games. But in theory, those should start popping up more. So Vanderby says, do we know what micro-genre Tunic is in? Okay, so Tunic is in an established space. You know, that kind of isometric Zelda vibe. However, Tunic is a subversion of expectation because it looks cutie patootie and there's a whole ass language with like ARG puzzles and shit to solve. I'm still looking forward to doing that. Just need more hours in a fucking day, you know? Well, shit. I've been genred. Eagle Liv says I'm a whole ass isometric Zelda vibe. I'm glad that's what I give off. I give off a cozy, but I'll fuck up your crockery at a heartbeat. Your pots are not safe with me. That's my vibe. Okay. So Unholy Glee, I've just been talking about the Steam changes and how we're seeing some little changes on Steam that are going to have big effects. The other one is that the Steam OS that runs the Steam Deck, Steam will be rolling that out to other manufacturers. So, yeah. It seems they finally hit upon that Steam PC thing that they were trying to do for a while. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the brain rot around Helldivers 2. Predominantly, and this isn't aimed at Helldivers 2 or its fans. This is aimed at this post-live service flavor of nonsense, which we've been kind of seeing bubbling for a while, but is really, really starting to hit a stride. And I would like to talk about it. If you're wondering, Will, what in the fuck are you talking about? So, you may have seen a few articles doing the rounds recently of like, Helldivers 2 disastrous patch, Helldivers 2 community dying, and all of that. What was the one that Aftermath put up? And again, friends, if you haven't, so Aftermath is an army of some of the best journos that got dropped over the last like couple years, with everyone getting rid of their video games divisions. all together on a fucking brilliant site. It's absolutely worth your time. And Nathan kind of hit upon a lot of what I wanted to talk about today, which is not even Helldivers 2 can escape from live service hell. And it's this bizarre flavor of nonsense that I'm trying to think how to phrase it. You know, we talk a lot about number go up. There seems to be this user expectation that successful game equals player base go up constantly, infinitely, and forever. And this madness is summed up around Helldivers 2 so well. There have been so many articles that come across being like, you know, Helldivers 2 struggles to bring back community and things like that. Helldivers 2's active player base is redonkulous. Like, I think we can still pull it up on Steam stats. Here we go. Okay. Give me the good shit. Yeah, so Helldivers 2 is still, as of this week, is the 4th most played game on Steam. Sadly, I don't know why the Steam Deck is top selling game. It's a top selling game. Let's see if we can do. Oh, come on, Steam. You used to be really good for giving me all the stats I wanted. Go ahead. Steam. God darn it. Where do they hide it?
Good news, at 7 hours of sleep today. Bad news, dreamt I was in school for the umpteenth time.
Ugh. I'm so sorry. Sorry, thank you for the 500 bits, but ugh. My poor sleep pattern means I very rarely have dreams, which I'm very grateful for. Okay. Yes, was. God, has it been this long since I tangled in Steam's fucking data? Okay, you know what? Steam, you don't wanna give me the good shit? It's fine, it's fine. Do you wanna look at your stats anyway? Oh, I think I can check SteamDB, can't I? Now give me some stats. I want to make sure I'm quoting things correctly, right? Okay, so yeah, right now, as in this very moment, there are 30,000 people at 3 PM on a Wednesday playing Helldivers 2. Do you all understand how many people that is, right? Like, you get this. That if you could release a live service game and maintain 30,000 people every day, you're fucking set. You're golden. But because of the dizzying heights that Helldivers 2 was at, there's this perception that where they are now is due to failure, is due to, the game sucks now, it's bad and stupid, what are these devs doing? And this is where this mad brain rot is coming from. The live service mentality has put people in a situation where success is denoted by...
What hope? Do Charles dream of electric shafts?
I don't know, you'd have to ask Neo Shadow. Although, I am getting bullied into going back to play... Well, okay, there has been requests for me to go back and do another evening on depth. So, I can be fiscally bullied into it. Look, I understand what my sanity is worth. Niyoshido says, unclear, I never remember my dreams. That's fair. But no, it's so fascinating that the discussion around these particular titles has reached like such a point where it's active daily users or nothing. And I do think this comes down to a couple of things. Like, one, right now it's really hard to judge how well a game is doing. The only metric that Steam really makes visible to you is essentially active player numbers, right? Yeah, Unholy Glee, it's a very similar situation. And WoW was only pulling in a few million, active monthly users, or, a few million users who were paying a monthly subscription, as if, because it had been at such a dizzying height that where it had gotten to, even though the graph had gone down, was still ridiculous. And Hindle, that's where I think this is so fascinating, because it's kind of similar to, Executalk. But with them, it's all about, like, they have an unrealistic expectation of how many copies a game is going to sell, and they think it's going to keep making money forever as line go up. Whereas there's a natural bust and boom, right? Helldivers 2 had the zeitgeist, but ultimately there's only so much game to play. I'm not playing Helldivers 2 a lot anymore. I still love it. I still think it's great. I'm still playing Sea of Thieves on the weekly because, there's something about its emergent gameplay, and it does have that kind of, so long as you bring friends together, you're having a good time. And that's not to compare, but it's like, I'm not playing both of these at the same time to the same core. And it's so fascinating because the same insanity has begun to permeate fan discussion, like, as if things have suddenly gotten bad and terrible for a game where any other title would kill for that number. So, like, right now, Warframe's got 40,000 people in. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. It's not quite the dizzying heights it reached during the pandemic and, the 2020s, but Warframe's still kicking ass. During lockdown, Warframe peaked at 189,000 people concurrent. Like, that's fucking brilliant! Helldivers did peak at 458,000, like 500,000 people, which is fucking good. But honestly, a fan base of 30,000 concurrent people every fucking day is god tier. It's god tier. Yeah, Niyoshido. I mean, my critiques of New World, but that's another story. But it's just this idea that, that the peak of an online experience is something that can be maintained indefinitely is insane. But that is the only measurement of success, it's just boggling. Now, you know me, I have real beef with the whole stop killing games movement. Not because I'm against keeping games online, but because there's a level of that same insanity that's kind of seeped in. Because here's the thing, friends. Helldivers 2 will go offline at some point. Hopefully it will still be a game that you can play local and, like, putz around in, similar with Helldivers 1. But the dizzying heights when it was the absolute zeitgeist of the industry, when For Super Earth was something that was a rallying cry amongst people, unfortunately that time is gone. And people do need to understand that some games, to be these group experiences, to be these online titles, they are temporary. You know? Your favorite MMO will always shut down. Your favorite online game will eventually no longer be available. And, you know, Hindle, you're not wrong in that clickbait titles don't help. Core games media is really struggling right now, and they are using every tool they can to stay afloat. Even ones that I don't like. Like, J-Post, I'm just being real here. There will come a time when you cannot play through Final Fantasy XIV. And when that time comes, it's okay. I mean, sure, there'll be unofficial fan shards and servers and things like that, but, you know, I'm not trying to FOMO you into playing more games, but just the understanding that some places, some scenes need to be regarded as temporary. Experience them, record your playthroughs, write down your feelings, live in those games when you can. You know? One of the reasons why I hate the Stop Killing Games movement is that those kinds of experiences would go away, because you wouldn't be able to make it. You know? Also, I'm vehemently anti-government oversight in video games. Because I don't know if you've ever tried to explain a video game to somebody who works in the political sector. It's not good. It's not good. To them, we're all still playing little bleep bloop PlayStation, Sony fucking nonsense. Yeah, we're playing our Sony Dreamcasts and whatnot. Yeah, so Garrett, some art is supposed to be ephemeral, but it's also, when you start regarding these as not just a piece of art, but you regard them as a space, as a place. It's like a bar, a pub, a club, a scene. It's a community center where the right people came together at the right time and made something. But that's always transitory. You know? And genres, that's entirely possible. Now, obviously, we would never ever condone the use of illegal private shards for MMOs on this Twitch.television. I've never run an Ultima Online shard for myself, and I certainly would never even consider a private shard of Wrath of the Lich King, was it? Where apparently you can get fake players as bots to help bulk out the game. Sounds rad. Yes, Moose, that's also another good point, is that Final Fantasy XIV, they have physical servers. It's not just AWS instances and things like that. And hell, even if it is, like, virtual servers, all the other shit that goes into it. Well, I mean, I don't want to bore you all talking about the same topics, but it is one thing that I keep trying to hammer home with the people who are like, oh, just, if an online game goes offline, just release it. It's like, you fucking can't do that. You don't know how many licensed third-party proprietary pieces of software go into making this run. And the company making the game doesn't have the license to just give you fucking Zola's backend or some shit, right? Like, yeah. Dustin, reporting live from a different bus. Go you. You know, there was a time when all the World of Warcraft servers were all like custom-built blades. You used to be able to buy the plates from decommissioned. Okay, sorry, when I say blades, it's basically like server racks. Like you lock one in, a huge data center type stuff. But yeah, as Ragnar says, moments hold value because we know they don't last forever. And if we're all being honest with each other, some games are just a special time and a special moment. Like, let's be honest, how many of us here are still playing Among Us? And hey, that game's great. Like, it's still succeeding, people still love it. I'm not shitting on it, but like, Among Us during lockdown was a really special time. Remember when we also used to play Unfortunate Specimen? That was great. But that time has passed now. Maybe we could turn it into something. Maybe we could fold it together. Chaunerus, it's been so long since I've actually had to, you know, run servers that most of my knowledge and terminologies is woefully out of date. Like, the last time I had to build a server for work was like 2007. But I don't know. It is possible to create pieces of art that can be an experience for a group anytime, right? But the more online, the more connected we are, the more we have to accept the fact that it's a transient moment. Online games change and shift and move, and that's okay. And Bulletproof, that is entirely true. And when it comes to video games, this is where purchasing habits and value propositions kind of crash up against reality. See, I was actually going to get in game, but I just want to finish this thought. So, Sonic, you're still... Mario, you're up. Okay, so... when we look at a video game, we look at the price tag, and we think about the concept, assuming we haven't played it. I know you know this, but again, just for the framing of the conversation, your mind does what's called a value proposition. You see the number, and you decide if that number is worth the experience you're going to get. But you make this purchase based on like an ephemeral idea that you could do this at any point. If you buy a physical copy of an MMO, you make that purchase with the idea that that MMO is always going to be there. It's always going to be that same experience. And, you know, the concept of a value proposition exists in all purchasing. Like Capitalism 101, baby! But when people make that decision, that's the point when they start hitting upon the, well, I want to be able to do this anyway. And that's fine. That's fine. But it is an unrealistic expectation, and the way in which by we I mean the video games industry, pushes pre-orders, pushes like, you know, buy the super duper whooper collector's edition, we crank up that value proposition. And when confronted with the idea that that they just spent sometimes $80 to $90 on something that will only be temporary, well, that starts to rub people the wrong way, because the permanence of video games is one of the reasons why games do so well during times of economic downturn. If you go see a movie, that is a one-and-done experience. If you go out for a nice meal, hell yeah, it's great. Food, we love it. But again, you eat the food, you're done with the food. Board games and video games have this wonderful idea of, well, you got this, and you have it forever. And the closure of online games and this, you know, the online service obsession means that that's no longer the case. They are transitory. They are temporary. And I think that's where a lot of the chagrin comes from when people are getting their rage on. Now, again, the reason why I'm against the Stop Killing Games movement is not because I think we shouldn't be preserving these games. If we can, we should. But one, it's not easily done. And two, don't give the government control of your art, you fucking morons. Because, as we well know, if all the things that the Stop Killing Games movement wanted came to pass, all the big publishers would just pull all their online games from Europe or any regions in which those, you know, rules came into play. They pull the games before the ruling came into effect. So those games would just be killed. So, you can see why it's driving me up the wall. The Stop Killing Games movement would just obliterate a huge swath of the fucking industry. No, Jackie, they absolutely would. When Germany passed their additional standards on blood and violence in video games, let's say back in the 90s, everyone just pulled their games from sale in Germany. Like, if you are legally required to release a free open source version of your game when it goes offline, if it is available for sale in that region, then just don't sell it in that region. Simples. Because you don't want to give away the fucking keys to everything. Yeah, no, Chaunerus, I wholeheartedly agree. No, so Jackie, this is one of those things where don't look at other industries. Like, this is just like, what the fuck would EA do if they suddenly had to make all their video games open source when they close them down, or remove them from sale for that region? Like, that catalog. Anyway, I've spent far too much of my time over the last few months, like, just raging against this. And it's very frustrating because, again, I was talking about this on Discord, of like, it's a prime example of the amount of energy it takes to refute bullshit is far higher than to create bullshit. And it is coming from a group of people who are very well-minded, who genuinely care, but they don't know enough to know they know nothing. Right? You know, there is nothing more dangerous than an idiot with a little bit of knowledge. You know. And again, going back to what Chaunerus says, I mean, the first alarm bell that should be ringing in anyone's head during that whole thing is whenever they say, it'd be easy. Like, homies. Homies, tell me you've never worked in games. It'll be easy, we'll just add multiplayer. It'll be easy, we'll just make the game single player. Stares into middle distance. Yeah, so Bulletproof, in terms of like physical media restoration, like there are loads of people that are looking to like catalog physically released games and physical hardware as as preserving these things for the future. And we are at a really, really interesting point in the discussion of art and media, in that the internet has created basically a cottage industry of cataloging and discussing even obscure pieces of art. There is a literal value in you finding a game that no one else has heard about and being the first person to make a documentary on it, right? And it's really cool. But it's these online titles have... Alright, Dustin, have fun, friend, have fun. But it's these online titles that are not like the old days where it's just you have your server and you have your software and your PC and jobs are good, right? A lot of modern games have incredibly complicated systems at play and a shit ton of middleware, right? Helldivers 2, like, how do you emulate whatever systems they have that runs the live world map? All the things that run their back-end payment system and like account management stuff. And how many of those things did they make from scratch, and how many did they buy from other companies to produce that game? You know? So yeah. Now, one of the things that is interesting is that in certain cases users have been able to emulate stuff of their own volition, and that is really cool. I fully support that. Obviously, we do not condone piracy on twitch.tv, but the ability to emulate old online titles and get them up and running is fucking good. It's just that is drastically different than providing open source free versions of the game when they go offline. Drastically different. Well, yeah, so Chaunerus, it's more that they're using the Crew 2 as a legal wedge, specifically in France, to try and influence EU legislation. So, I don't think anyone really gives a hot shit about the Crew 2, or Crewtuitus, or whatever it's called. But that's what is being used. It's... God. It's a... Yeah. All I can do, friends, is provide you all with the information that you need to understand the situation. You know, the guy who's like the main voice piece of it has such a huge audience that it's like yelling against the fucking sea, right? We're just screaming at the waves to stop being wet. And that can be very frustrating that sometimes in video games the loudest voices are the least educated. So all I can do is provide you with as much information as possible, try and demystify a lot of this shit. Because one thing that many people have pointed out, Nick said it, the fact that these people don't know isn't necessarily entirely their fault. We in the games industry side have been really shite for explaining how we make online games. We try and keep everything as obfuscated as possible, predominantly to keep cheats to a minimum. The more that your user base knows about how your game is made, the easier it is for them to work around stuff. But we could have done so much more to educate users in the complexities of what's happening. Yeah, NDH is also a very good point. And Jackie, so gone are the days when it would be easy to just have the client contain enough information to be able to put that out into the world. And honestly, like, people trying to reverse engineer old MMOs and online experiences, they get hounded by fans who want it, or the legal system if they start charging. Nobody in the games industry actually wants to see old games go away. It's just, at that point, you get into legal precedence. If somebody is making money off of running an old game, you've got to shut that shit down, because unfortunately, due to how government shite works, if you don't defend it, you lose it. And that's where it gets kind of... yeah. Okay. I'm going to say thank you for the follow, and I'm going to watch you like a hawk. Angel Kalina Watto, and welcome. Hello. Okay, I think we've covered that topic in all its entirety. Again, what I initially wanted to talk about is how, like, the focus on live service active numbers equating to success being a form of, like, intense brain rot. Oh shit! Sorry, this is completely unrelated to anything else, but Foul Damage, the game I did like a little sponsored video for, the What If Celeste But You're an Egg, is going to be in the PAX Rising Showcase, along with Just Crow Things. Hells yeah. Oh, and Desktop Explorer, which I'm very excited for. Oh, and Winterboro! The craft and survive cute game where you play like a little mouse and your old house has been destroyed. And Zeke, how are you doing, friend? We were talking about brain rot around active user numbers and games preservation. And Jackie, no, I do understand, like, you're coming in on the back end of stuff. And this is one of those situations where I try not to make direct comparisons. Because, like, yeah, Jackie, that shit is bullshit. Somebody bought a physical bike, and now because the company went under, you can't use your bike. And my t-shirt says, less thinking, more drinking. Because I have an overactive mind that I have to quell with booze. It's not a healthy mechanism, but it's the only one I've got. Bear with me a second. But yeah, Zeke, I hope you're doing well, friend. Had some real good banter. And we're about to leap into some Elden Ring. Well, we can absolutely keep talking about all of this. You're late for work? Are you doing the piece of toast maneuver? Oh, that reminds me, I've got leftovers. Yes. Okay. Do. Hush now, Mario. Therapy swords talking. Oh, and just to bring you all up to speed, I'm not even close to the DLC in Elden Ring, so don't worry about spoilers. We're currently on the path to Melania, which has been kicking the shit out of me, and I apparently have been going, yes, thank you, I would like some more. And that's where we're at right now. Oh yeah, no, Chornerus. We can go do the DLC whenever we want, but I won't be playing it today. And I understand that a lot of people have been, are still avoiding, DLC spoilers because they're playing through it themselves. The DLC is no joke.
Stop that incessant clicking.
Though what was very funny is I saw Stooge's battle with Morag or Morang or whatever his name was. It turns out Mr. Blood Go Explodey weirdo, he is weak to getting stabbed with claws, which amuses me greatly. Jackie, thank you for gifting us up to Chornerus. Like, you know me, I'm not ever gonna do like mid-roll ads and stuff like that, but God, some of the ads on Twitch some days is just such garbage. Just make it multiplayer is the same as don't get hit in Elden Ring. I would say that adding multiplayer to a title that doesn't already have it is more difficult than doing a no-hit run of Elden Ring. Because it's one of those, and if you know, you know. Legend, that would be the best, worst mod of all time. Every time you dodge roll, it plays an ad. God, that would be heinous. So, okay, Jamami says, I have a question for everybody who has a good answer. What are some games that give you a combat-orientated vibes but encourage you to use them in non-aggressive ways? Like bombs to uncover hidden areas and smashing crates. Aww. Thank you. I got a bun! I got a bun. bear with me just a sec, friends. Okay, sorry about that. So, okay, so using combat systems for non-combat reasons, right? Moose, give it to users. Give it to people to play, then come back and talk to me with love and respect. Because that's the thing. Multiplayer stuff is all well and good when it works on my machine, and then you give it to users. That's where hell happens. So, Jackie, are you talking about Forever Winter? Because that's more thematic. Like, you do still have a gun that you use. Okay. Using combat systems for non-combat ways. Bear with me a second, because there are quite a few. I'm just drawing a blank right now. Thank you, Lizzie. It was less of a smash, more of a corgi edition, but it's certainly appreciated. Actually, Furball, Noita is a good example, because you're given spells for combat, but you end up using them for everything but. Anyway, I'm just going to bully these guys a little bit while we're chatting, because they bullied me. Puppies. I'm hoping that by bullying these guys, the game I'm trying to remember will pop into my head. It was something that was very similar to, like, Earl's Last Tour, in the idea that it's a game that doesn't need... sorry, it's a game that has combat tools, like weapons in them, but they aren't used for shooting. They're used almost in, like, utility. I'm trying to fucking remember... Stinky Breather! Miss me! Stinky Breather! Hey, old bastards. Hey, got him with the old Viking. But no, Noita is a really good example because you use all of your goodies. Actually, I wonder if bees will reach him. Bees! Not quite. Bee? Hang on. Bees? Haha, bees. Bees. That guy shot me in the back more times than I care to count. He deserves this. Go get him, my bees. Whoop. How are you not dead? That's a lot of bees. God damn it, he's got like fucking bee immunity or something. bees. Seriously, just fucking handle this. Thank you. Never forget your EpiPen. So right now around this area, we can either go down from here with the ladder, where there's terrible things beneath us, or we can start heading into the castle itself. I definitely take recommendations. I just wanted to bully those guys. Ooh. Fiona picked me up a curry bun from Pike Place yesterday, and it's got just enough heat that I'm like, damn, I need to go get some water. MDH, you said bleed. I think you mean bleed. No, I got nothing. I got nothing. I thought I had something. I lost it. Yeah, Space Cadet, we did the tunnels under Lindell. Like, we, crushed, what's his face? The Grossman. We killed him. And and we did all the extra side bosses and whatnot. We're doing real good. Hey, and Fearless. Beckin, thank you, friend. Beckin, thank you. One has to believe to make bee puns. What you did there, I saw it. Cold Ankle says, and I quote, "Down ladder is awful, but short." Oh yeah, there's a gangle fucker down there. The old grafting special. And it's a sure. That's the only problem. Thanks, I hate it. Alright. Okay, well, Hindle, I hope you do get some good sleep, friend. But failing that, we'll be here for a good while. Oh, from downtown. Oh, you cheeky little stab! Cheeky little bastard. Okay. Whew. I think I checked out up already. Okay, so I'm still trying to think of the question of games that use, like, combat, either mechanics or tools for non-combat systems. I'm trying to think of some of my favorites. But for some reason, I'm just drawing a fucking blank. It's like, you know me. Oh, this is the one time he doesn't rush in. I love my little anime flip. He knows what he did. He knows what he did. Now I think I can summon poppies down here, but Ganglefuck is a nightmare to battle. Maybe if he comes by this way I can get him with the bees or something. God, if only I could get the fucking ballista. Use that for my own entertainment. Space Cadet. That's the entire fucking Elder. What's down there? Horrors. Horrors beyond imagining. Doesn't narrow it down. Oh, definitely gonna need the puppies though. Maybe a spot of madness. Stinky breath does not work on the ganglefuck. Puppies are doing good though. Yeah. Friends, get you some monster hunting dogs. Good work, puppies. Ragnar, it's better if you don't know. It's Dark Souls rules apply. The more you find out about these creatures, the more you come to understand they have a horrible and tragic fate. And there's 2 of them! Ain't that for us? Alright, puppies, you got this. Oh, it's getting pukey. Madness! The power of baggy trousers compels me. That's a shout out to everybody in the UK that's going to find that funny. As everyone else will just be like, what? Ironically, my character's pants, not baggy. Well timed. Okay. 2 horrors down. 2 dogs remain. Ooh. Goodies. The Lord's Ring. I do want to apologize right now, because again, I do want to keep talking about using non-combat mechanics. Using combat mechanics in non-combat situations. Eventually my brain will remember what it is I'm trying to recall. And I do want to talk about games preservation and all of that. But I just wanted to make a quick early apology that if I start doing the bad Northerner voice, Fiona's been rewatching Oh, you fucking wanker! Been rewatching Game of Thrones. So the amount of Northernisms in the clan has been through the roof. There we go. Give him no fucking quarter! Alright, we've got 1 more. Never get tired of bullying these guys, they know exactly what the fuck they did. No, puppies, I need you. Broke him like a cheap fucking vase. Thank you, puppies. These dogs know what up. But yeah, so I do want to apologise now if I start doing fucking bastard king it no. Please, if it becomes a problem, blame Fiona entirely. Now, we hate watched season 1 of House of Dragon, and we started watching season 2. And genuinely had a good time with it. And now I don't know how to feel. sounds bad. Alright, here we go. Choke. No. Fuck. No! God damn it! I was doing so well! So MDH, Griftlands I think is a good example. Like, you're using the same deck of cards, but you're using them in varying situations, which is cool. Now MDH, when it comes to television, I will say that a show has to be exceptionally good to justify the you need to watch this much before it gets to the point. But I do disagree with what you're saying on it's just a question of like, is the payoff worth it? So sometimes we get trapped in this loop that like every moment of a game must be filled with excitement and explosions. I'm not saying it is a bad term, I'm not saying we should avoid it, but whenever teams get too focused on the game loop for something that is narrative focused rather than just purely experiential, you can end up with something when everything is happening all the time, thus creating this like bland soup of everything being thrown at you all the time. It is entirely possible to make a game where things are quite slow until they pop off. And if that delivery is not only makes the wait worth it, but also is accented by it, you know, it's one of the things that I used to kept trying to tell people with the original Nier. It was like, alright, there are parts of that game that are very, very slow, but their goal is to punctuate it. Right? But that's the thing, MDH, until you get to the payoff, knowing whether or not it is worth it is an experience. I feel like people are still stinging from, I want to say Final Fantasy either 11, yeah, I think it was, God, was it 13? Lightning's arc. Because, you know, the whole thing kept you on a huge, controlled... They kept you on a very, very controlled path for a long time. And a lot of people haven't forgiven them for that. Because what a lot of people were saying was, oh, don't worry about it, like, it gets fucked up. And that's 90k souls gone. Because a lot of the justification around that discussion was, you get to the open world after about 10 hours, and a large proportion of that 10 hours feels very railroady. And when you make it to that point, personally, I can't speak for yourselves, I don't think 13 gives you enough. Oh, Shitaru, to be continued. Watto and welcome, Prolo. Coming in. Watto and welcome, hello. Squidsurf, it's been a million years. Watto and welcome. How was your stream? What were you up to? Tell me your tales. But I just, anytime the discussion about, you know, oh, you got to play a game for X amount of time before it gets good, really does seem to be still that same discussion around Final Fantasy 13. Well, this is the problem, is that, like, it's also, to explain good examples of this is to remove your ability to have that reveal. I think it's either Season 2 or Season 3 of Mr. Robot, is at first fucking dull. Like, for episodes upon episodes, very little happens, very little is moved forward. And then the reveal drops. And not only does it make that wait worth it, but it makes what you've already gone through so much more poignant. It recontextualizes and reframes what you have come through. And there are a bunch of games that do that. Now, the first Nier is probably the best example of it, because the subsequent playthroughs of it give you things you didn't know the first time round. It recontextualizes and reframes things that you were doing that suddenly makes you go, oh, this wasn't boring. Oh, fuck. That is very clever. Now, I have far more issue with artificial padding of, like, open world stuff. Like, if a game takes 20 hours to play and the first 10 hours is set up to a great reveal, fuck yeah. Even if it's a little slower, fuck yeah. But a game that's like, okay, you must now collect 50 feathers, 40 pages. If you want to progress to this point, you're going to need to, I don't know, shake 17 hands or something. And I'm like, look, I can see you're just trying to pad out runtime here. This isn't being put in for the sake of pacing. This isn't being put in for the sake of experience. You just want it to take longer. That's the point where I lose my noodle. I have so little patience for it. Oh, sorry. To LTC, Watto, and welcome. But yeah, so, Prolo, glad you had a good stream and burned down a tower in Final Fantasy XIV. Hell yeah. God. Jackie, you got my CM brain working. Jackie was like, how can we provide 3 thick burritos to every member of the Longship? Well, first we define what is the core, right? So core people. Then we break it down by region. Anyone in the US or UK, depending on where they are, would be not too difficult to get them deliveries to where they are. But when we start getting into, like, stranger region, that could be trickier. But yeah. Can't believe I fucking lost all of those. I wonder if the Gangle fucks are still going to be down there. Oh, this time he's playing nice. Oh, fuck off. Oh, look at me, I'm a bastard with a great big shield. Get that nice front hit, let's go! Oh, that's 2 for 2! Not gonna get tired of this. It cost me 90k souls. I have nothing else to do today but bully you, sir. Now, my worry is, have the Ganglefucks respawned? Because if yes, I can't do 3 of them in a row. I'm not made of stone. I'm trying to think if there's anything else down there that I need to do battle with. But yeah, MDH, like, thank you for the pointer on that one, because it is something I do enjoy discussing. Because here is the thing. A game that disrespects its user's time is one that hasn't considered the user and is therefore not a very good game. I do think that Final Fantasy XIII was a big old wake-up call, and I think that the improvements we've seen to the subsequent games definitely came from that. Why the fuck they did 2 sequels to that series, I don't know, but I think it was because, and I guess you all know this as well as I do, but Capcom was still very Japan-focused for its flagship stuff. And to my understanding, 13 sold great in Japan. Yeah, well, Ragnar, I'm just kind of... I don't want to just rehash old Longshipian conversation topics, but as people have said, those freemium... those free-to-play quotes games, they aren't about your time. They only exist to remove your money. They aren't games, their monetization models rampant. Some of them are good. Some of them have actual game to them. The irony that fucking Hoyoverse is making bank because they put GameBit in their mobile game. Did I say Capcom? Sorry, Phyllis. Thank you for the correction. I did mean Square Enix. But ultimately, regardless of what kind of game it is, a game is a collaboration, right? There can be no game without the game devs to make it. But the game cannot be played. It can't exist in its entirety without someone to experience it. You know what? I'm going to come back to those two fuckers. I'm going to come back to them. I don't want to fight Gangle fucks all afternoon. Let me get my thoughts together on that one. Space Cadet says, I feel like Final Fantasy X disrespected me by sending me into the lightning fields. Oh, I've spent more time with 10 than I care to admit. Partially because Mr. Smug fucking jumped up teenage dickhead Will, in case you couldn't guess who that is, was like, oh, I played this once before. I can use a custom sphere grid. I don't need anything else. Took no dark moves. Had the fucking golem smash my team into oblivion. And fuck those lightning fields. At that point, Sin can just fucking have it all. I don't care. Yeah. I will say, fan perception is such a weird thing. Like, Final Fantasy X2 was so poorly received because of its initial presentation and style. You know what? That game fucking slapped. I don't think of that a lot. But that's another that's another pile of nonsense. I just feel that had the Lightning Saga had a really good payoff, it could have really made it work. But ultimately, Final Fantasy XIII's overall arc was just kinda mid. The hours upon hours that you were on a very, very linear path that didn't feel like a good story just felt ugh. Phila says, taking recommendations, what Final Fantasy game would you recommend for someone who's never experienced Final Fantasy or any RPGs before? Either 15 or 16, to be perfectly honest, depending on what hardware they have and what their tastes are. Either give them the Game of Thrones or give them the boy band. Because if they end up loving it, they'll go back and play the others and kind of understand the jank that came from previous eras. But like, if that's where you're going to crack the seal, that's what I'd recommend. I really enjoyed 15. And so Ragnar, this is one of those things where I don't disagree with you from a consumer standpoint, but the fact is, even though every story be different, the fact that it is a Final Fantasy game means that more users will care, right? Square Enix has released a buttload of different RPGs over the years, and some of them went well under the radar. The early... I can't remember which one was Square Enix's 360 title, because there were two that had really similar premise. One was a immortal soldier on an eternal battlefield, and one was an immortal soldier on an eternal battlefield. But that game just went straight under everyone's radar. If it had been branded Final Fantasy, that would have garnered more attention. And that's the problem, is like, franchises are powerful. Selling a new IP to people is very scary. It's fine if you're in the indie space, but like, you know, the return on investment in the indie space, or I should say, like, to make enough money so that everybody don't die is much, much lower. You know, if we take corporate greed out of the picture, the amount of money an Assassin's Creed game needs to make so that everybody working on it gets to keep their job is still very high. I am gonna disagree with the suggestions of Final Fantasy XIV because it does have a lot of it still has a lot of MMO-centric elements. So you're asking people to kind of do their first MMO and their first RPG and their first Final Fantasy at the same time. That's a big ask. The reason I picked 15 is that, premise-wise, it's very simple. Control scheme, not aggressive. You play as one character, but you get to have the trappings of that RPG. And from then on, you can experience other elements of it. And Ragnar, this is one of those things that happens in video games where you just have to accept that weird things be that way. By what I mean is, like, why is it called Final Fantasy 15 and not Final Fantasy Boy Band in a Car? And that's just because of the precedence that's previously set. They've done titles like Dirge of Cerberus, I think, is it Type 0? I think it's Type 0 that's the one with the kids that get forgotten when they die. They've done other titles, you know, Crisis Core and things like that, but they don't do as well as mainline Final Fantasy. And that's just how it be. Right? The only way to change that would be to fucking change the timeline and have it so that instead of it being like, you know, Final Fantasy and then Final Fantasy 2, have that be like Final Fantasy, a different fucking thing, I guess. Bearing in mind that there are also titles like that in the space. Oh, I can't remember if there's any spells that fuck these guys up. Let's see if Madness works on crystals. No, unaffected by madness. Okay, firstly, how dare. I'm gonna lure him away one by one. And Nick, Watto, and welcome. We were talking about the Steam store state changes. We're on to more monster hitting and discussion. I'm talking basically about like naming conventions in franchises. Like, Prolo was mentioning the Tales of series. One could argue that their naming convention is probably why the Tales of series hasn't reached the same dizzying heights as Final Fantasy. Oh, you're right, they're rotten crystal bastards. Like, you know, a good example would definitely be like Shin Megami Tensei. But there's been loads of like side stories in those ones. But there's a reason why it's the Persona series now, because one of those was a breakaway success. And that's not to say the Tales of games are bad. Okay, just again, for framing, we're not talking about whether these games are good or bad. We're talking about like why they are called thusly, why they are named like that. You know? Why are the Assassin's Creed games as they are? Well, they were a numbered trilogy. When they had the situation where they had an character that was... They had an game that was successful but meh. They had a follow-up that was a huge success, predominantly thanks to its, like, lovable main character. So they made the entire story around, you know, Ezio Auditore. Until it wasn't, and then they had a very, very bad time with 3. Black Flag's success was what prompted them to stop calling them numbered Assassin's Creed games. And that was a really smart call. And yeah, no, Fearless, Persona is the side series that eclipsed the main series in popularity, but despite Persona's success outside of Japan, the Shin Megami Tensei series did not see a massive uptick after the success of Persona. People just wanted more Persona. So Handlebar, I have been trying to have a look at it. I don't know if I've got the current version or not. It's really funny, Handlebar, because they basically over-course corrected. Like, Twitch clips was so good as a concept for sharing like little snippets of your stream. And then they course corrected and made it all about clips. It's so weird. But, so Ragnar, this is one of those situations where you're not wrong from a intellectual standpoint, right? However, that's just not how people buy games. You drop the assassins in Assassin's Creed, people are just confused. Like, what's the quote from Men in Black? Because I always think of it whenever we're talking about user purchasing behavior. It's like, a person is a smart, articulate individual. People are dumb, panicky animals. A person can work out that, the difference between a sequel, an expansion, a DLC, etc. People absolutely fucking cannot. And believe me, as someone who has released a standalone expansion, you know what? No, you would believe. If any of you have worked in customer service, if any of you have had to work with the general public, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Let's see if I can tempt these dinguses over one by one. Okay, cool. Yeah, come do your little wanky dance, mate. Yeah, no, Nick, I've been legitimately asked that. What does it mean to say the game is standalone? This time in. There we go. Your end is nigh. Ah! It's not bullying when they're glass people. Yes! Get there, folk. Yeah, but Jamami, you laugh. I've legitimately been asked that working on projects. And when we were doing... So here's the thing. All throughout, like Empire and Napoleon and stuff like that, people got super confused. They were like, do I need to have Empire to play Napoleon? No, it's a standalone game. Then we did Fall of the Samurai. So we did Shogun 2. And then we did like the additional DLCs and stuff like that. And Fall of Samurai was kind of Napoleon scale. And we were like, look, we're going to do this as a standalone expansion. You own Shogun 2, it plugs in. If you don't own Shogun 2, don't worry about it. You can play it on its own. And I spent months of my life being like, no, you can just buy it on its own. No, you don't have to get the other DLCs. Again, if you've ever worked in any customer service, you know how stupid individuals can be. Now, Ragnar, actually, EA's rebranding of Need for Speed under the Most Wanted label was a really good example of, like, that shit going sideways. Yeah. So yeah, sorry, Nick was just saying that community managers protect the back of house devs from so much shit. Yeah, that is the job. You are the watcher on the wall. You're the big sword in the dark. Dear glass poise damage. How's the ground taste? You jumped up Schwartzky fuckface. Ooh, a rotten crystal spear. I can't wait to get tetanus. I like MDH, yeah. When people are joking, I'm like, oh, I didn't see a price tag on this. Does this mean it's free? Until you encounter someone who's like, oh, I didn't see a price tag. I thought it was free. Deadpan. Ah, oh, god damn it, I've got crystal crabs. No. We are the crystal crabs. We'll make your day comfortable. Don't worry, it's not tetanus. And again, if you're new to the Elden Ring streams, those guys bullied the fuck out of me early on. A rotten crystal sword. Let's check those. Okay. A sword fashioned in pure crystal is deep. A deed impossible for a human. It festers with scarlet rot. Scales with intelligence. Well, that's not for me. That's fucking gross. Okay, so this whole thing, Melania was trying to grow another Erd tree? I can't wait to start doing the deep dives. Yeah. Actually, Ragnar, one of my favorite branding snafus was back in the UK. There was a there was a publishing company called Sold Out, and they would reissue old video games. But in the charts, it would say such and such game sold out, and people genuinely, myself included, because I was a stupid child, believed I couldn't buy that game because it was sold out. You know. I wonder if they ever make a junior ring. I mean, I guess you could say the Sacred Acorn. Elden Ring for babies. Down, then up.
So I was work games retail, and a customer came in with a GBA SP.
Okay.
He asked to trade in the game that came with it, saying it wasn't compatible with the system. I asked to see the game and he showed me, it was
To continue. So the person comes in to trade in a Game Boy SP. Saying it wasn't compatible, the games weren't compatible with his system. He pointed out... when he pointed and demonstrated, basically the guy was trying to put the cartridge in backwards. Fearless turned the cartridge around the right way, clipped it in, and handed it back to them. Their face lit up. He then turned it upside down and asked me to take off the back plate so I could put batteries in it. Fucking yo. Yeah. So MDH, Like a Dragon, is kind of one of those things where I get why they kind of have to do it, right? You know, Yakuza comes with a lot of implications. And especially internationally. I mean, it was already Like a Dragon in Japan. I forget when they made that switch. But, you know, that's one of those ones where it's not good, right? Because we all know that we know it as the Yakuza series. They are the Yakuza games. Naming one of the side offshoots Like a Dragon, smart. Oh, this is nasty. Big time for a photo! But yeah, so it's one of those situations where I really do get why they did the rebrand, but it probably has been a tricky one to work with. Oh, and the naming convention around the current Xbox is moronic, bordering on upsetting. But you know, it's one of those like, what are you gonna do? Oh, tell you what I'm gonna do. Wreck this guy's whole day. Payback's a bitch, you fuck! Oh, I'll just trap Will in a crystal tavern. He'll never get me back. Crystal cavern, sorry. Newsflash. I remembered. The gods forgive, but I do not. Can't wait for my hubris to be turned back around on me. I'm trying to get this pink butterfly in shot. This is the thumbnail for it, for YouTube. Nick says, I would die if they called the next one the Xbox 2. Yeah. I mean, right now, I am once again blown away by the, you know, the whole thing of, you know, never mistake malice for what can be explained by idiocy. I know you won't, mate. Yeah! How'd that taste? Spicy! Yeah, cry about it some more, many arms. Okay, actually I'm gonna need to either equip the get rid of rot. Actually, now I've killed the crystal buggers, I think what I'm gonna do is go back. I've got the spell that lets me cure rot, but I have just come to realize that one of my greatest strengths, being stinky breath, is now completely fucking worthless here. The eggs bucks 4,000. That'll work. Oh no, sorry. So what I was saying is like, you're all aware of the saying, like, don't mistake for malice what can be explained by stupidity. And I kind of feel like that is the entirety of the Xbox strategy, in the sense of, you know, don't mistake for genius what can be explained by corporate fucking stupidity. You know, I feel a little bit, I don't know, stupid? Because basically, I equated a lot of things to a really clever strategy, which I don't actually think ever existed. You know, in my shamanistic need to understand the Xbox strategy for the last, like, few years, I may have given them far more credit than they deserve. By which I mean, like, I thought they were going to focus on a platform, right? It's not about buying the console, it's not about, you know, it's not about being on an Xbox. It's just, so long as you're playing their games their way, doesn't matter if it's PC, doesn't matter if it's other consoles, that's their goal. No, they don't know what the fuck their goal is. They have no plan. They're probably going to release the Xbox 4 X fucking TS edition or something. I don't know. Like, we're going to get some, like, fucking Sephiroth XX420 Blaze It YOLO box next. They don't know. They don't fucking know. And yes, Killer Instinct is still Xbox exclusive, but I think you can play it on PC Game Pass. Okay. Oh, I do have Fire Cleanse Me, alright. Honestly, I should just get rid of Stinky Breath. It's not going to work here. We'll do Super Duper. We'll do Lava Breath, because that can work really well. Lava Breath. He drinks Lava Breath. Drinks Asada Breath. And you know what? I'm going to keep bees, because they're really good at just going around corners. Just like a little slow fire. Microsoft will go with the newest trend and call it the skibbity box. Yeah, Phyllis, that definitely tracks. Phyllis was saying that during the 360 era, a bunch of middle managers and executives tried to jump over to the Xbox division because it was seen as profitable and probably a bit more stable than some of the other sides. Like, I understand that. And it led to them basically... I mean, the change in how the Xbox environment, the UI was completely reworked into something nobody wanted. They buried the indie scene and the games for, Xbox Games Arcade and all of that stuff. Just got thrown to the fucking side. And then there was a surprise Pika face when people weren't buying and playing as many games. Because they couldn't fucking find them. I do care. I do care. Why? Rest in peace! Yeah. Look, they might be slow to act, but one of the things that today's discussions about demo pages, about tweaks to Steam, is Steam are actively trying to fix problems like discoverability. You know, they're actually trying to make their platform better because, and here's the shocking thing, if people can find games on your system, people are more likely to buy games. And I know, what I'm saying here is shocking to the very core, but it's true. It's almost like make game better. Alright, who are you and what is your fucking name? Alright, bees, go check them out. They appear to be immune to bees. I may be in shit. Yeah, no, Space Cadet, you've rumbled me. I am actually a PsyOp. Get all that sweet, sweet PsyOp money. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. And look, I'm not saying Valve are perfect. I'm not saying that they are my bestie best friends in the whole wide world. But again, there's a lot of things that they are doing right now that make sense, that are actively to help users find more games and play more games. Yeah, I'm in the pocket of Big Indie. Fuck! Oh, I like that. He's been paid off by Big Indie. Well, let's try cooking this soup a little bit. Bees! Yeah, I'm what EA warned you about. Okay, so the bees do work. You sure you want to swim this way, buddy? I'm full of bees! It's weird that the bees have more range than lightning, I'm just gonna say that. Yeah, you know what, Jamami? What's really cool, and the thing that we saw today, is that the success of the Steam Deck, Valve are revisiting a philosophy that they really wanted to hit upon, which was, we don't want Microsoft to have the complete monopoly on PC gaming. You know, for those of you that are the younglings here will not remember, but back in the 2010s, after Apple went from being the joke to the tits, sorry, I shouldn't say the tits, my apologies. But more the brain, no, the honking great big mammary glands does not also. Basically, Apple beasted everybody else in the tech market, and their whole system of closed platform with clearly defined apps rather than programs ended up creating this situation where they were just making money hand over fist. Microsoft made a bunch of announcements saying they were going to be aiming for a similar system. And we saw a little bit of that in their Xbox philosophy and how they changed. Come here! And how they changed their. They changed the UI for the Xbox. They had planned to do the same with the next version of Windows. That Windows was going to become a closed platform. And by closed platform, it means that like the only programs you would have been able to run were ones that you downloaded directly from Microsoft. Suffice it to say, a lot of people were not keen. Gotcha! Now, if the other ones would swim a little closer, it would be fine. Anyway. Yeah, the Microsoft Store is a result of that. Games for Windows Live definitely was part of that initiative. Anyway. I'm going to try and waddle over to this island. Sorry, I've got the don't make my body rotty heal. I think I can job this guy and still get out without dying too badly. There we go. Anyway, as a counter to this, Valve announced they were going to be doing... Oi! Fuck off! Not your house. Actually, absolutely your house. I will not survive and say chug. Okay, there we go. Shout out to whichever of the longship died in the bad soup there. You will be remembered. But yeah, so Valve's counter to Microsoft's announcement of a closed platform was the Steam OS, a Linux-based UI that you would be able to install on any rig. And they had initially planned to do what were going to be called like Steam boxes. These would be pre-built PCs with a Steam OS in them. They did not sell well. During this phase, they also did the set-top box. I forget the name of it now. It was a very confusing time for Valve products, but that was one that streamed... Steam Link, thank you, Proto. The Steam Link, which streamed your games from your PC to your television. Those still are awesome if you can get hold of them. I cannot recommend them enough. It's interesting that the Steam Deck has now ended up doing what they wanted to do with those Steam boxes. But it's predominantly a handheld games console that already plays Steam games that you can hook into your telly with a dock. Job's a fucking good, right? You know, we're talking standardized hardware, we're talking, like, easily defined, does this work on my system.jpg? You know, it's doing everything that they had hoped those Steam boxes would do. And it's really cool that they're, much like with the Steam Deck, with the Steam boxes, they're working with hardware partners. Never get tired of bullying these guys. I may be in trouble. Maybe in trouble. Okay. Okay, we can make it. And Caffeine, what and welcome. But yeah, what's so fucking fascinating about this is, again, this was something they've actively tried to do, and they didn't give up on it when it didn't work the first time. You know? It's hard to imagine other major players in the space being like, shit, they had a really good idea, but the strategy didn't quite play out. What if we worked smart and came at it from a different angle? Alright, I feel like I'm about to get lost in the soup. This is not good soup, this is bad soup. Yeah, probably a great point. Elden Ring runs well on the Steam Deck. I'm going to be able to go and fight Dragony Dragonface at some point. Hell, if I wanted to, well, actually, that wouldn't be my maneuver, but the fact that I could turn this PC into essentially just a streaming deck and use like a stream from the Steam Deck to run certain titles. Oh, I nearly fucked that so badly. Oh, I know who's down there. I'm going to be in this pit for a while, aren't I? Malinia is gonna bully me, and I'm probably gonna say thank you, ma'am. Giant whoop. It's fucking gorgeous in here. FromSoft once again balancing the this makes me feel gross with damn, that's pretty. Okay, I'm going to go down the ladder. I just want to talk to you lot first. Caffeine has good news upon Spectre. They are done with their procedure, are doing good, and are up in a limited fashion. Yay! Fuck yes! Well, next time you talk to them, because you'll probably talk to them before they're able to pop into stream, do give them my best. Let them know the whole Longship is fucking super stoked to hear they're doing good. So, woo! That's fucking cool. Nick says, when I last saw the death counter, it was like 250. What the hell happened? I had a bad time with... What was the place I got the shit kicked out of me? There's been so many of them. But there's been a few, like, mini-boss sections where I've just been beaten to a fucking pulp. Also, I take it there's a rest spot down here. Which is why you'll want me to head this way. Ah, there we go. Love to see it. Touch that, Grace. Oh yeah, the joke that looked like a ball of lard. God, so many. Skeletor's anal beads was a personal hellscape. Look, I try not to curse too much or try to be too gross when we're streaming, but there are a few bosses that deserve the insults I fling at them. Bad time. Oh, Deathbird. That motherfucker was at least 50. MDH. You're right, I could have said something a little bit nicer, but I still haven't killed him. He's still in that fucking dungeon. I can't believe you've done this! You know what you did. You bastard snow. Moose, okay, that was the thing that you took umbrage with? Of all the things I just said, that's what you took umbrage with. Whether or not Skeletor had the necessary bootay to require said beads. Okay, that's something good, which means around here there must be something bad. I just see Legend post, good luck! You'll need it! Okay, okay. Alright. Alright, I've got an idea. Oh, fuck me! I am immediately dead! Never mind! I just got fucking jump scared jaws by that one. Blade Nora. It's fucking Outer Wilds all over again. But no, you know what, Phyllis? I'm very glad we went to that the rest spot first. Now I've got only 80k souls riding on this. Don't even worry about it. thought this, like, extendo cockroach was inside. It's alright, it's nothing that a little bit of fire and some, incoherent violence can't solve. I just gotta get it up and moving, and then get to the outer rim. If I try and fight it in the soup, I'm fucked. Now, are you saying I should wait to pick up that shiny before we've dealt with it? Woo. Reload! How do you like madness fire, dickhead? Oh, he likes it just fine. That was personal. Oh! This is the bad place! Personal. Oh, Nick, actually, we never got to that part of the Steam improvement discussion. Basically, joke reviews are going to start getting hidden. Unfortunately, they are going to count towards review score. So it does mean that the accursed 2,000 hours, don't play it unless you want to lose your wife, child, and dog. Which, it's a very funny thing to say, because it's like, oh, this game is so good, you'll have to give up having a family. But is greatly unhelpful for the devs. But yeah, it does mean it'll be easier for people to find good reviews. Hey, no, the fire was effective. Oh, look where my fucking souls are! Don't. I mean, what can I do apart from trying to lure this guy off the fucking cliff? Welcome to the rest of the stream. It's this fucking guy. Oh, Jamami, I hope you could get some sleep, friend. I really do. Yeah, now I have nothing to lose. Maybe that was it. I just needed the freedom. Just to be freed of the burden of success. Today, shrimp. Okay. This kind of feels like the battle with Ceaseless Discharge. Lol. you gonna do, big man? No such weird thing as a cheap win in Dark Souls. There's no such thing as a cheap win in Dark Souls. I am not your dad. I am not your dad. There isn't hard a cheap win in a Dark Souls. The song needs work, obviously.
Oh no, I'm just a poor little tree spirit. I can't get up there and bite you.
Burn the rot! Salt the wound! Ah! Get fucked, you gangly, oversized bastard. No, so Ragnar, this is one of those cheeses where they intentionally let it, you know, fester for that good flavour, you know? Legend says, unlike Ceaseless, I don't think he can gravity kill this guy. Alright, I just gave him the old air frying special. He's not going to be in Elden Ring 2. Fucking wanker. Look! By the power of ridiculously OP dragon flavors. I know what I'm about. Okay. Walk back to the Grace. Which one was it? Prayer room? Okay. Oh shit! Be summoned to assist Millicent. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, that's why I need to head back, so I can get my goodies. Wait, no, if I'm assisting, that means that... if I'm assisting, that means I get my stuff refreshed. Maybe 2 summon signs. Alright. Assist Millicent. Are we murdering, or are we... Okay. I don't see a red option for Moida. I know, look, we're all in this together. If you'll want me to assist, I'll assist. I mean, what am I going to do? Just bring in high-powered Stinky Breathu? Sorry, Spicy Breathu. Let's fucking do this. Oh, okay, it's like actual people fighting. Okay, you guys suck. Oi! Fucking spear wanker! Alright, I'm gonna get my fucking game on here. Flamey Breather! How come he can do that? It's so gross! It's alright, I'm coming back. It's alright, I'm coming back. Oh boy! Okay. Let me back in, coach. Yeah, Frost Dragon is minty breath. Fire Dragon is spicy breath. You get me. Alright, so who's coming for me? Fucking lady. Comes from a big family, this one. Oh, listen, you stubby little wankstein! God, these murders keep up. We're basically going to be 2-3-4-3 industries. 686. The fucking cheek of it, I tell you. Yeah, the cheek of Dex builds. How dare they be faster than my sword, which takes 3 to 4 business days to announce its arrival. How dare! And yeah, Millicent has her own anime bullshit. She's kind of rad. The rest of her family seems pretty whack, though, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, that's Maureen down. That's right, you'll just stay in a nice hunched bottle of fire. Delicious! And last but by no means least, eldest sister, let's get crispy. Fuck yeah! I got you, pal. Well, if I do look a little creepy hanging out behind her, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. The Rotten Winged Sword Insignia. That sounds great and fucking awful in equal measure. Okay, talisman depicting a raised prosthetic blade. An honor bestowed upon the Valkyries who serve the goddess of rot. Greatly raises attack power with successive attacks. It's not really for me. I'm kind of a one and done sort of kaboof. Okay. Okay. Alright, so this might be the bit that requires a reset. Alright, well, I'll take a little cheeky teleport back to the prayer room. Love that for us. And then we'll see how they're doing. Nope, this was the wrong place. Drainage channel? Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. There we go. Whee! A teleport now! God. Imagine if we'd done a strictly no fast travel playthrough. Part of me kind of wishes we had. Like, as agonizing as it would have been at times. Oh, I'm just going to pop back to the round table hold. At least it's not like back in certain Soulsian games where you had to make it back to the Firekeeper to spend your stuff. Okay. Looking for a homie. Looking for a homie. No? Nothing so far. Ah, there we go. Hey up, love.
Oh. Hello.
You better not be dead.
Thank you for lending your hand.
I got you.
Without your help, I could not have defeated that quartet. I feel as if I've been in your debt from beginning to end. Thank you. With your help, I was able to live as my own person. If only in passing.
No!
But this is where things end. I paused to even tell you, but I took out the needle myself. Tell whoever put you up to this that if I am to flower into something other than myself, I would rather rot into nothingness as I am. Please, let me pass alone. The scarlet rot rides now. Worse than ever.
No!
Soon, I won't be more than a mound of flesh, curse-laden. Untouchable. I wouldn't want such a thing to bring you harm. Please, the scarlet will soon curse-laden. I wouldn't want some.
So we need to go and stab the guy we met earlier. Does he need to die? I feel like he needs to be, you know... Okay, just reload for now. Okay. Excuse me. Oh. We reload first, go check, go see what happened, and then we murder her. Okay. Recommend murder but not yet? Okay. That's what I like to hear. A stab in the hand is worth 2 in the will fucking kill you later. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh shit! Fearless. Fucking thank you. An honourable shield to Nook's past. Yeah. I try to remember the other day if that's 5 years worth of bits or 6 years worth of bits. The unalloyed golden needle. Aww. First off, sadness. They were one of the best of the characters. And hey, they chose to go out on their own terms. An intricately crafted needle of unalloyed gold, removed by Millicent from her flesh. It bears no trace of befouled blood, but is faintly moist with dew. There is something I must return to Milena. The dignity, the sense of self, that allowed her to resist the call of Scarlet Rot. Okay. So next up, it's just the battle with Melina. Or Melanina, or... Blah. Dyslexia strikes again. We can go back to Growl's shack and catch Caleb and chat with him a bit. Do we want to? Prolo, I'm gonna have to. It's the only way this works. I've used Stinky Breath, I've used powerful attacks, I've used all sorts. But I have to. I have to. Phyllis says you just beat the boss while I was away feeding cats. Yeah, turns out your advice of, wow, he's weak to fire. It worked. Swan dive. Into the rest of your... Well, should we murder him now? Or should we progress on to Melina? Also, I have completely forgotten how many years the Longship has been going, if it has been 5 or 6 years we've been doing this. That's why I was saying, we're like, is it 5 years of bits or 6 years of bits? That's why so many of you have, like, massive shields in this. So we have been doing this a very long time. And I'd like, with your permission, to do it for a very long time more. Alright, well, we can at least explore this a little bit. I am 30 or 40 years old. Or almost 6 years of subs. Shit, so we must have been doing this for 6 years. Because we didn't get subs until well into the adventure. Ooh, okay. So Fearless was just recommending that I should definitely pop a finger before we get in there. Just because there are loads of summons and things around. No item ahead. Liar ahead. Well, now I gotta check. Nope. Nothing. And Scarlet Rot seems so peaceful from up here. But no, it's like I was saying earlier, this isn't as much of a Will stubborn thing as it's like, I don't know, I need to do this. Okay, are we going up or are we going in through the fancy doors? Choices, choices. It's just a small just a small Elden Ring level, you know, no big deal. Oh, maybe I hadn't fucked up. Oh, don't even try it. Dragon Crest. Dragon Crest, Great Shield, Talisman. Fucking, that's easy for you to say, mate. Alright, let me just push some of their little... Ow! Just pushing their babies off the edge just as a threat to the rest of them. This feels good, not gonna lie. Yeah, Fearless, that is another thing that's mind-boggling. And that's kind of something that has been in the FromSoft DNA for a long time, is that yes, this area isn't just huge and awesome, but optional. You do not need to do this. I think we've talked about this a lot, but honestly, From's dedication to, I want to say, to the lore, to the idea, is so powerful. Fuck you, mate! God, these little like Muppet baby versions are honestly just embarrassing. Listen, Linda. I will be the first to admit, it's getting a little bit ballsy there. But did you have to run into my sword there? You didn't get to have a cool fight. Alright, we're good. But no, the idea that the lore shapes the world in this, and that there are whole swaths of this game that you can just miss. Like, to think how many dev hours went into something that a user could just skip fucking exactly. It's completely counter to the rule of the 10%. which is never design something that'll only be seen or used by 10% of the user base. Which is something, by the way, I do not agree with. But I understand the idea. If you're in a great big AAA environment and someone's like, oh, I've got a great idea for a hidden thing. It's going to take loads of time to put together. And only 10% of the players will see it. That the reaction will be, don't do that. Dave, don't do that. Because when you're justifying every hour, like, oh no. I have fucked up. Ooh. Maybe not too badly. So there's always a Dave. That looks like the path. I feel like I should go upstairs and explore a little bit more, rather than just rushing down. Traveler's clothes. But with FromSoft titles, it's not the philosophy of, well, only 10% of the people will see it, so we shouldn't put time in. It's the idea of, like, this is the reward, right? Is that Millicent's outfit? Let's have a look. The idea that outworn by young women who set off in the world to confront their fate. I guess it was also the same as the weird sisters that we battled. But no, so the idea is that if you invest yourself in the lore, if you follow these quest lines, if you research everything and do it right, that it leads you to places like this. Whee! Different elevator goes zoom. And for a brief second there, I could summon something, which amuses me greatly. Okay. Where the fuck are we? We're back here? Oh no. Oh no, I won't be back here. Oh no, take me back. Take me back, I don't want it. I don't want it. Might be a shortcut, but I wish it wasn't. Indeed. Okay, so, Prolo, I agree with you. I agree with you, friend. Post-game's kind of fascinating because it's such a... It's a philosophy that comes with so many weird conceits. The idea that the game is done, and yet we give you more. Unless it's a game that's meant to be played either like co-op with friends or otherwise, and then it's alright, well, what do we do afterwards? You know, what do we do once we've taken on the BBGE or what have you? With this, it feels less like they went, okay, let's create a post-game zone, and more that essentially this area is your reward for following the quests, for following the early stuff. You don't have to do this after you've cleared the game. See what I mean? Also, Verdenflow, you're not wrong. But again, the rule of the 10% is a design philosophy where you don't create things like this. Fucking bastard! Where the fuck did you come from? You squirrely little shit. I know there's another one of these hiding around the corner. Oh, here we go. I can get back up and grab that thing the creature dropped. Anyway, I'm not a super fan of that design philosophy because I'm not saying that teams should be stretched beyond breaking point for things that may be missed, but I think if we're going to treat users with respect, it's respect their intelligence to a degree, you know, especially in the age of instantaneous communication where people will look up guides or they will watch streamers or talk to people. I think being able to add things that are purely thematic, that add in service of the world and aren't part of some fucking live service engagement loop strategy. I think that's really important. It does not feel like an area that's designed as a post-game challenge. Like, we were talking about Final Fantasy 15 earlier, and there are a couple of dungeons that you can't take on until after you finish the game. And they are purely mechanical, right? They are designed to be like, oh, did you enjoy playing the game? Okay, well, have some fun with it. Here's a ridiculous dungeon with loads of weird conceits, you know. Something to really, like, tax the old noggin. You know what I mean? Oh, fuck you! Shot me with his nipple needles. But the thing is, that dungeon is specifically designed to be played after the end of the game, and that is its whole little goal in this adventure. And again, that's fine. It's not something that's put in service of the story in the world. It feels a little forced. And yes, 15 did also have the weird pot noodle crossover. Look, friends, sometimes you've got to pay the bills. If Pot Noodle wants to give you $5 million to put a pot noodle segment in your game, where the characters talk about crafting the perfect pot noodle, so fucking take the money and run. Just take the cash. Like, you've worked hard enough as is, you deserve it. No! Give Aunt Cass a break! Sorry, Nick was saying that DreamWorks is releasing Moonray, their fancy top-of-the-line commercial renderer, to the public soon. It's going to be the next Bioshock Infinite of the 3D porn industry. And I'm like, those DreamWorks characters, they're already working very hard in that space. Oh fuck, no. Just want me souls back. Like in that movie, souls back. Matey, I'm gonna need you to pick up the pace right about now. I'm gonna need you to seriously funk soul brother this. Also, I need to go to the other fucking bonfire. This was a really bad place to hang out. Back into the PowerPoint mines. You just surfaced from making a deck just to bring us that. So Verdant, I actually don't think that it was crafted as a counter. I think it came along as the right time. Like, this game continues to be rife with, like, FromSoft design philosophies. And the whole of the Souls franchise has been. So I think that it was coincidental. Like, when AAA was at their most AAA in it, you know, at the time that brought us Kane and fucking Lynch, came this weird little game with an obscure, obtuse story that didn't really make any fucking sense, that went to strange places and said strange things. Like, I think it was right place, right time, because when you go back and play, like, Kingsfield and shit like this, like, Dark Souls is practically fucking cuddly. Hell, even Demon Souls was more brutal. Tree roots, drainage system, bedroom. I think that's where we were just hanging out. Wait, no, that's the early stuff. Okay. But no, so, yeah, to answer your question, Vern Flo, I think it was more of a great big old coinky-dink than it was necessarily a, right, fuck you, we're bored with seeing what is happening. It all kind of came together in that way that, I don't know, lightning in a bottle can only strike so many times. On the one hand, From has kept a consistent philosophy throughout their games, and, you know, Dark Souls was them breaking into the mainstream. Like, again, don't get me wrong, but before Demon Souls, no one even knew about fucking Kingsfield. Right? Armored Core and I guess Tenchu were kind of their big notable titles, but those had begun to wane. You know, they were a work-for-hire studio, right? Like, I know you all know this, but just for context, I want to state again that FromSoft was not a powerhouse. They made games cheap, fast, and good by picking specific places where to focus their efforts, by keeping their scope real tight, and by, you know, consistently delivering. But they were not a huge bombastic setup. It's not like, you know, they released, you know, some games back in the 90s and then suddenly had thousands of people in the studio making these alter superstar games. In fact, what cracks me up to this day is a lot of their philosophies don't come from pondering in the bathtub being like, instead of having expensive cutscenes, I shall dribble my genius narrative to them in ever such small droplets as to be like descriptions and whatnot. Nah, it was like, fucking hell, Dave, alright, Dave, this game is going to come out in 6 months. I love your story. I love what you're telling here. No, you can't have a VO budget. No, we don't have any cutscene budget. I can give you fucking text descriptions, and that is it. And if you ask me again, I will pull off everything that you have below the belly button. And I mean everything. That's where I can see their style of storytelling coming from. Like, Demon and Dark Souls are predominantly experiential based, not narrative, right? It's all about this different style of combat that we've now come to, like, accept and emulate. But fucking shoulder buttons? Dante would have a fucking fit! Actually, no, Dante would fucking love it. That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point. I got so into our little discussion there that I completely forgot, one, where the fuck I am, and two, what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. So Melina's through there, right? Okay. Let's go murder that guy in the shack while we're having this natter, because I don't think I can handle all of the million finger missiles in this way. So where the fuck is he? He's over in OG Rot Town. Yeah, there we go. Sage Gruy. I guess Church of the Plague and then take the path down. Okay. Okay. You know, Evil Geek, Armored Core 5 did have more of a budget, but they would commission these 3D animations from third-party houses that made no fucking sense. Right? As an Armored Core aficionado, I know, I'm prolo. That's entirely understandable. and like I'm not against it, but it just when I talked about like the Soulsian combat philosophy, it was definitely a different one than the action hack and slash that either was derivative of Dante or derivative of, you know, let's be honest, Dynasty Warriors itself, an evolution of like side-scrolling beat-em-ups like Streets of Rage. Anyway, yeah, I mean, Vernflo, you probably know all this, so thank you for giving me an excuse to talk about it. You probably all do. It's just, From Software are not a bunch of alter geniuses. This is not some Hideo Kojima wankfest. They're a team that just got it fucking done. Like, okay. Again, I know we all know this, but I want to bring it up, and it's my fucking show, so... So, you gotta put up with me. I do love the fact that the name From Software comes from the fact that they stopped making fucking Office software. They came from software. Love it. Love it. Okay, so... OG Kingfield and Armored Core is how they started. They did start getting experimental with their horror stuff. But like... Okay, so their first work-for-hire project was 1999. They did a game based on Spriggan for the PlayStation. Now, a Togi for the Xbox, by my understanding, was a Sega-published title, not a work-for-hire project. But that's the point, is like in 2002, From Software put out Armored Core 3, Lost Kingdoms, which was distinctly mid, also Muramako, Renegade Mech Pursuit, and a Togi. That is 4 games on 3 different systems. Technically 4 if you count the PSP. What the fuck? Right? So yeah, basically they did some work for hire stuff, but they were predominantly their own as they moved up into like 2005, 2006. That's when I started doing stuff like Chrome Hounds. And I'm pretty sure Chrome Hounds was Sega approaching them. I can't confirm that. But like, they also did, in that same year, Armored Core 4, Enchanted Arms, and Another Century's Episode 2, which is a Banpresto... I want to say it was a Banpresto work-for-hire one. But it was one of the Japan-only, like, giant robot mashup games. Yeah, Moose, we're just talking about, like, FromSoft's whole setup. And I just wanted to list off some of the things that they put together that were purely, like, work-for-hire and shit like that. Yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. Steel Battalion Heavy Armor was the Kinect-only... Steel Battalion follow-up that everybody hated, which I know was Microsoft just being like, here's cash, please make it. Please. You know? And it's really fascinating because pretty much from Dark Souls 2 onwards... Oh, wait, no. They did do a Monster Hunter Diary Poka Poka Aurora Village, which was a Capcom work-for-hire project. And, okay, Bloodborne was not work-for-hire, but let us not forget that Bloodborne was entirely a Sony exclusive. Like, they paid for that one. Okay. Okay, about to say, Legend, you know what I mean. Lost Kingdoms on the GameCube was fine. You know, I say this as someone who played all the Drakengard games. You know, I'm not being mean on purpose. Now let's see if I can get to this guy without being shattered by Burger Kings. Okay, I didn't need to kill that guy, but I couldn't not. Burger Kings, be gone! Burger Kings, be gone! Oh, I forgot how powerful we are. Come, Khazar. It's time to laugh at the people who are not as cool as us. In one! We might need to come back here. Yeah, well, Legend, and I think that's a really good thing to acknowledge. A lot of FromSoft catalog was just like that. They made a good, solid game on a really tight budget that didn't set the world on fire. But yeah, no one talks about Ninja Blade or The Lost Kingdom. No one talks about Enchanted Arms. Oh man, you look like I feel.
Millicent, my daughter, why would you take out the needle?
Choose your words
You were
carefully.
so close, so very close to becoming the fairest of all flowers. Would you disown us too, as your mother did? We children of the Scarlet Rot. Millicent, Melania, do you detest us so utterly?
You're a bad dad.
Millicent, Melania, do you detest us so utterly?
But, okay, sorry. I know I was joking about calling those games mid and things like that. But again, they made those games on a fucking nothing budget, and they got it done. You know what I mean? Murder optional. Do we kill this guy? Is there any downside to stabbing this guy in the fucking gabba? None. Okay. Okay. See, now, we could kill him with our sword. But he doesn't deserve that. Let's get the fucking... Sorry, wrong button. Yeah. The only downside is, you can only do it once. Hey, guess what, dickhead? From your daughters. They send their regards! Rest in piss, you terrible father. Flock's Caravan Talisman. A Glory's Ball Bearing. Alright, well, we gotta see what's that. Look, he did not deserve our good sword. You gotta earn therapy sword. You gotta earn that shit. Okay. Well, let's hand in his ball bearing before I forget, just in case he's got anything cool to pick up. So, friends, I do need to apologise. It does look like I'll be bringing our adventures to a close the next, like, half an hour or so. Sorry, bear with me just a second. Well, and also, what I'm thinking is that with I Am Your Beast not happening tomorrow, either we can spend another day on this, because I love playing this, or we can do like a little grab bag of stuff tomorrow. real life's been kicking my ass a lot, and so I'm not happy about having to do short streams, but I did a really bad job with yesterday's stream, and I didn't do a great one. And the fact that I didn't manage to bang one out on Saturday is still... yeah. Oh, there we go! I'm gonna get it, but I'm not happy about it. I think we got everything cool. Hey, what happened to that weird kid that didn't speak that we gave the armor to? Down in the undertunnels. What happened to them? But Legend, if possible, what I'll do tonight is try and... there's a couple of little horror games I want to share with you all. So we can offset our wholesome discussion with some spooks later. But okay, so I don't just continue to... I guess I don't have anybody else to level up. I should pick another summon, because I've already finished doing Ashen Will and the Dags. I should do somebody else. Is there anyone else here who's just fun? I don't need good. I need fun. But yeah, so friends, if you take anything away from my insane love of From Software, which, you know, I played Tenchu. Well, I shouldn't say Tenchu Z. That was a third party, but like Armored Core shaped me as a person. But if you take anything away from this, it is that legends are forged, not found. Dark Souls was not created to counter the AAA movement. They were doing the same shit they were always doing. And the world turned. And they were in the perfect place at the perfect time. Right? Like, if you started today making weird, janky video games to your own tastes, where will you be in 5 years? 10, right? You know, Dungeons of Blood and Dream is fucking brilliant. But also, I can't wait to see what else that dev does after. You know? And here's the thing. Dungeons of Blood and Blame. Call an ambulance. Surfing drunk. Sorry. Dungeons of Blood and Dream, at least from an artistic standpoint, is something that you could do. And Numbers, Watto, welcome. Hello, hello. Quasi, did I say hi? And I guess I haven't been to Jarlsberg yet. I haven't been Jarlbergen. Yeah. And Prolo, like, the stuff that you put together looked really, really, really fucking cool. Like, I think if I were recommending, the next step, friend, is to take the best bits from your fan game, recreate them in something that is your own, and go from there. So Fearless says, I recommend the Skeletons, because after they keep getting down, they keep getting up. The Chumbawamba Squad! Alright. Noble Ashes, Skeletal Militiamen, Skeletal Bandits, Claymen, Demi-Humans. Just seeing if there's another different kind of skeletons. Marionettes. Man Serpent. Mad Pumpkinhead. Cell Swords. Ashes. Oh, those are the guys that explode when aggravated. No, it's the Skeletal Militia. Alright. Because they get knocked down, but they get back up again. Thank you. Alright.
Well, I took you for dinner, matter it out your own.
I feel like I haven't really been using anything except for my 2 toys. remember my first katana. Good times, good times. So actually, so numbers, I think you could do something really good with that. You know how we've been talking about the idea of like loss as content? And I started thinking about some of the newer Fire Emblem games. And I'm trying to remember which one specifically is that has a big old fucking time skip in it. Because that's the problem, friends. You know, drinking to help yourself sleep is not something I will ever judge you for, but I advise against it because my memory is shot. I think it was the one before Three Houses, but the TLDR is that you play the first half of the game, and as you're playing it, all your party members start pairing up. You know, this person is flirty with this person, and they hang out, and they're like smoochy smoochies. And so, through the first course of the campaign, everybody hooks up. Then, magical time skip. I won't spoil the nonsense, but then the couples get to meet their kids based on them. It's fascinating, and I love it. But the thing I started thinking about is like the idea of generational houses in those games, right? So, how you could create a way in which characters, they fight, they become strong, they become powerful, they have kids, they age, like that they cycle, that you cycle through these different characters in a way, you know, almost as if with, say, Rogue Legacy, you could actually see a proper family tree of everybody involved. And much like Numbers, after watching Freerun, like, I love the idea of messing with the perception of time. You know, if the user is the one playing the immortal elf, like, what does that look like? What is it to observe life as someone who, you know, where decades go by in the blink of an eye? But you have to do it in such a way that it doesn't feel like you're losing. You know, you don't want the player to feel like they're constantly, you know, their favorite characters are breaking and being lost. So how you would do that would be tricky, but not impossible. Oh yeah, because I can't kill the fucking lightning dragon. Although, this does have cloud save, and I did realise that we could do the weirdest, like, screen capture video of Will versus Big Lightning Dragon. Like, we could do that. Oh yes, and wholeheartedly agree with Prolo. If you haven't had the chance to watch Freerun yet, please do. It is one of the most fascinating and unique looks at, like, a fantasy world that I've come across. And I fucking love it. I remember Blood River. It's good times. It's crazy days. Okay. Oh yeah, and we did everything in the Deep Root Depths. That was the bit where I... Oh, just, sorry, for those of you who've been new here, basically, the big red lightning dragon has a specific bug with my specific graphics cards that causes this... like, get fucked blue screen of death tier crash when it pops off. And MDH, I thoroughly disagree with that, because Freerun's genius is that it is the story of after, right? The heroes have won the day. The Grand Swordmaster has slain the Demon King. And now what? You know? We're used to, you know, the hero is victorious. We've, you know, since Lord of the Rings Immemorial, that is an experience we've come to expect. And it's a good one. I like it. It's fucking rad. It's what Freerun has us do is examine, like, you know, what happens after. What is the world? And taking a kind of a slice of life format as your vehicle, not the you must slay the bad, but the I'm going to travel a bit. I'm going to see what's going down.
What ho Vikings? How goes the Soulsian shenanigans?
Lyris, it is going absolutely splendid. Though I think I took a left turn at Albuquerque there. How are you doing, friend? Thank you for the bits. How are you feckin' doing? Well, no, so Sagara, it's a known issue with my card. So I've just gotta fucking like it and or lump it, really. I could have sworn I worked out how to get higher up from here. Am I going mad? I think I did take a left turn at Albuquerque. I'm also possibly going mad. Oh! What numbers? We're just with you bringing it up. I thought you'd seen it. But yeah, no, we don't have to go into spoiler territory. Like, honestly, it's fucking brilliant, and I highly recommend it. Next question, please! Laura said, work's keeping her busy. Also got to play the first in-person D&D game in over 3 years. Oh, Decadence! Fuck yeah. Starting in there puts me at a little bit of a disadvantage. Alright, some gold knights over here. Let's get the fuck out of them. They know what they did. Sorry, here's me saying we should change the subject and then not coming up with a subject. There is so much game here. Ah! Big Sword says hello. I was like, is that a shadow ghost? No, it's a regular book. I too love Big Sword. It's my therapy sword. It makes me feel good and it's cheaper than therapy. Okay, sir. Someone did not get it. Drink, drink. How does the ground taste, little man? You want some of this too? Alright, mate. I got nowhere else to be today. Actually, that's a lie. I do have somewhere else to be today. Actually, there was one thing I want to say. I don't know if Bacon is here, but to the other Sea of Thieves friendos, thank you so much for reaching out over the last couple of days. I do wish we could have mopped up the Ashen area challenge, but real life said no. I will, however, say that I'm still riding high over Biggest Dickus. And if you don't know what I mean, that's entirely fine. Basically, Sea of Thieves added a super ship called the Burning Blade. It is a random world event. But if you beat the super ship, you have two choices. Sink it, claim the blade, or or take it for your own, and then you can choose to sink your ship and have that be your vessel. It has a full complement of obsidian skeletons. It has so much good shit. 5 guns, including swivel guns. Like, it is a behemoth powerhouse. And after weeks and weeks of trying, we managed to grab it on Friday night. Maybe that's why I was so feckin' broken on Saturday. Don't parry me, you piece of shit. Don't think I don't see you, bow bastard! Yeah, come closer. Come closer. Talk a lot of shit for a guy in stabbing range! Cheaper than therapy. But no, I just wanted to say thank you for everybody who's been reaching out the last few days. When I'm in a funk, I don't like talking. Talking is a thing that I do naturally and really fucking enjoy. And when I am in sad boy mode, I just want a sad boy by myself. I think I just decapitated that guy. Look, if these guys hadn't been bullying me the last 2 streams, I'd feel really bad about sneaking up behind someone who is being all mournful by a gravesite and breaking their shins. I doff my big sword. Okay, you're already dead. You're about to be. So, it may seem as if I'm being mean to these guys. They deserve it. But yeah, something I was asking on TikTok was like, what is something that you've done in a game that you are super genuinely proud of? Like, it doesn't matter how like obscure or weird it is, but something that to you is a big deal. Because I was trying to explain to people in the pub, like, why the whole deal with the Burning Blade, aka the Big Tesco, aka Biggest Dickus, why it was such a big deal. Because it's like, you have to rush past every other ship on the server who's going for the same thing, beat them, claim it, and then fight off anyone who would try and kick your ass. It's glorious. You know, it is a huge undertaking to not only take that ship, but hold it. It is worth saying that we managed to do 4 rituals. Oh, the other hook with the Burning Blade are these ritual sites throughout the map. And you get additional cash for each one that you do. We handed in like over $250,000 gold's worth of shit when we finally stopped. Jack says theirs was all the achievements in Deus Ex Human Revolution. Ah. Some of those are a lot. I did enjoy Human Revolution. We'll just keep it to step. got me once. Don't get me twice with that bullshit. Literally bearing in this, like, Sillet Bang level of... Fire cleans rock! Man, I'm in the fucking zone now. Sorry that I'm kind of half finishing multiple sentences. But yeah, TLDR, what are some things that you have done in games that wouldn't make sense to people outside the stuff, but you're genuinely proud of? You all know most of mine. All the stuff that I've done in the last 5 years that I'm proud of. Like, you were there for. The only one that haunts me is obviously not getting that win on Sekiro. Napalm is a bug spray. Little shit. Legend says the only one they can think of successfully making is the 1000-hit combo in Tales of Symphonia without a guide. Fuck. I love those challenges, but I always end up choking. Way of the Samurai 3 had a do 1,000 instant kills in a row, which is not hard. Which is not hard per se, but I did not achieve it. Just because after a while I just overthought myself until I broke the rhythm. And get to the boat. Bonjour. Ça va. Ça va bien, merci. We'll run out of bug spray here. Fuck off. You're lucky you didn't get burnt alive. Verdant 100% some songs on Rock Band on Expert on guitar. Fuck yeah. Big old fire spell. I think at this angle I can get them all. Yeah! And that's how we clean house. Bang! And the fucking bugs are dead! With all new kitchen gun! Ooh, a ghost glowwort peckering bell. Ooh, what? Oh, thank you, Moose! A bot stands no chance. I saw one thing on Twitter that cracked me the fuck up, and it was shout out to all streamers who refer to their mods in the same way that someone would say, "Guards, seize him." And I'm like, that's me! I'm people! It's like, Lizzie, kill him. Blam! I've not beaten Melania. I'm probably going to have to bring our adventures to close in about the next, 10 or 15. So I've just been kind of putzing around up here. Though I have cleaned out most of this upper area now. So I could just... I don't really know what to do. It's too early. We don't have enough time to start battling Melina proper, right? Would like to confirm if we've been to Jarlberg. Fuck yeah! Let's do that. Oh, I get to spend a point though. Ooh. And if I have another soul, I can have 2 levels. It's very fancy. Think so? It's just I saw down here, Hindle, that there's the golden wall, and I just assumed. If there's still a ways to go, there's still a ways to go. Okay, so what shall we level up? I'm still... Okay. I wasn't going to put any more points into strength. But if I do this, I get 769 strength, and I'm not made of stone. Arcane does increase my stinky breath. I need another soul. Okay. Get to the Boat says, what sort of build are you making? Fucking bold of you to assume this is intentional. Bold of you to assume I have a plan. So Legend, it's all about the big sword and dragon breath. Everything else is complementary. So, I do enjoy hitting things really hard. And Arcane's pretty much my fire type nonsense. So yeah, I guess it's basically strength Arcane. Faith was just so I could get all the fun, spicy stuff. Plus, look, don't hate me. Don't hate me for saying this, but the Limp Bizkit cover of Faith slaps. Just saying. I'm up to level 148. Remember when I was just little? Just a little guy. Ah, good times. I'm only 52 levels below Hindle. I was just a naked little guy. And honestly, at this point, I actually... Okay, I don't know if this is heresy to say so, but I would definitely say that the no pants dance should be the canonical
Sensors
start.
online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Woohoo!
Inching closer to a year.
Hell yeah. You will have the final form of the longship. What will you do with such power? What will you do with such power? You know what? We could poke our head in. We could say hi to Melina. All I wanna do. Sorry, I was about to be very, very crass. It just boiled down to giant woman. I don't know why I've just got big gremlin energy today. But I'm not going to summon anybody up. But I was told that even without multiplayer on, it's worth walking through here and seeing what summons are around. Don't see any so far. Oh, okay. I guess nobody likes me that much. Ah! Verdun, would that I could. Life's been kicking my ass a lot. It struck me the other day when they were in for, I think it was marble racing, that all this time I've been trying to find somebody to do emotes for Longship. The artsy Poe has always been there. I've always been able to pay them for emotes. My dumbass never even thought of it. Okay, we can get some cool screenshots. And this will set us up for tomorrow. Oh yes, and Hinder, we just finished Millicent's quest. I used fire breath. I am not good. I love my horns. This is seriously some every frame a painting type shit.
I dreamt for so long. My flesh was dull gold, and my blood rotted. Corpse after corpse left in my wake.
Marry me? Sorry, that just came out. That just...
As I awaited his return.
I need to get these jokes in now, because I'm about to get a little sample of what tomorrow's going to be, which is this fight forever.
Heed my words. I am Melania, Blade of Mikola. And I have never known defeat.
Also, I killed your dad. Oh, fuck me running! Okay!
Blade of Mikola.
Can you hear that, friends? It sounds like the error of my ways in real time. Okay. Yeah, that was a taste of the fight, alright? Oh. Is it warm in here? Is anyone else warm in here? Is it just me? Jesus.
And she still does not know defeat.
She still doesn't know defeat. I thought she was gonna fucking monologue or some shit, like, I don't know, Dingus with the glowing magic sword, or old moped horse, or fucking all of them. Oh, you stand against me, I shall rumble towards you. Okay, I haven't killed Radagon yet. Okay. So I haven't killed her dad yet. That's fine. Yeah, she's actually competent. If you like it, you should have put an Elden Ring on it. At that fucking speed, how? The power of thirst compels me! Yeah, but it was just she went from 0 to, and now you die. Oh. FromSoft fully understands the Spike Spiegel. Love somebody that can kick my ass. Okay. I assume she's not gonna monologue again. Fire's not a bad shout. I don't think I'll get the chance to use any of the big moves, but maybe some bumblebees. Alright. See? Now she takes her time. Bees! Bees? Bees! Ah! Face to bee style, how'd you like it? Oh, fuck! Damn!
I am Melania, Blade of Mikola, and I have never known defeat.
I'm gonna be hearing that a lot. I'm gonna be hearing that a lot. Get to the boat. Thank you for the 200. Legend, thank you for clipping that, because I deserved that. That might have to be one of the ones I put on the internet. I try not to spam you all when it comes to clips on like TikTok and YouTube and stuff. Okay. So I tell you what, there's no way I'm going to top that as an ending to today's adventure. But tomorrow, let's do this. Just let's bring Therapy Sword versus Melina. We'll make a day of it. I'll make some sandwiches. We'll pack a lunch. It'll be fucking great. Phyllis, I ain't that good. I said I'm gonna play this solo.
I am Millennia, Blade of Mikella, and I have never known defeat. Watch me post this on all my other accounts.
Why do I feel like it's just gonna be bits and bits and bits of just I've never known defeat? Oh, sorry, I need to add 2 deaths to the counter there, because the first time I might have been a little, you know, and the second time the bees were going good. No, Scotty, you're entirely, I mean, obviously, fucking thank you. Yes, tomorrow I am going to, as part of my job, as the way in which I will feed these animals and keep a roof over my head, get stomped on by a tall redhead, repeatedly. Giant one. Again, is it warm in here? Is it just me? Nope. No small hints. I will do it. Let me solo her. Let me solo her. But Scotty, the bees were funny. Go full beast mode. Power tip, don't die. Well, look. Okay, so I'm going to roll credits in just a second. Alright? I'm sure there is a lovely person I can pass you to in just a moment. But I need to say an extra special thank you because I've not been handling shit well lately. I think you've all noticed that. You know, start times have been wonky. Yesterday I was just a fucking prickly asshole. I've not been coping well. And you lot have been so...
The pointy end goes in the other guy.
Yeah. As an aside, sorry, Banter stuff, thank you for the 200. I'd love some Princess Bride style banter from one of these bosses. You seem like a decent fellow. I'd hate to kill you. Sorry. Multi-track tricky potato. Thank you. All. Like, sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I have no plans on stopping streaming anytime soon. I have no plans on giving up. And whilst sometimes I get knocked down, as the good Chumbawamba teaches us, I get back up again. So, like, just thank you. You know? For years you lot have been telling me that, like, don't worry, we got you. And I believe that. I really do. So, yeah. For as long as you lot will have me, I will keep doing this until the wheels fall off, alright? So, just thank you. Whether you've been lurking, whether you've chucked money at my dumb, stupid face, whether you've chucked jokes at my dumb, stupid face, for every clip, every line of banter, every whimsical fucking meme of my face. It is a pleasure and an honor to be one of your streamers of choice, your person in the chair. And I hope you all know that. I hope you all know that. Thank you. Alright? I get to do this with you lot. This is fucking cool. Alright? And tomorrow, we solo her. Okay. I'm probably going to use that physical damage charm, though. You know what I'm saying? We'll move some talismans around. Jax, even when you pester me asking me if I'm Elden Lord yet. When I do become Elden Lord, you should send me like a little card, like a little driver's license, but it's official Elden Lord. God, next week's my fucking birthday. Shit. Should have probably told you all that. Well, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Right! Lovely Mother Hubbards. Whatever you do with the rest of your evening, have a great time. I need to thank the following people directly, and I'm looking at some homies that we can crash into after this, and we've got some absolute bangers. But, seriously, I ain't shit without you lot, and I hope you know that. So to the neighbour peeping after 2 AM, who just wanted to look at my shirt, thank you for following. I hope you enjoyed the games industry banter. To Phil's son, Hindle, to the Bulletproof Fate, Ragnar Steiner, Zeke, Chaunerus, Space Cadet from Seattle, and Raven Day Gaming, whether you were gifted a sub or celebrating the full spree, thank you. To Ehrman, Very Doubtful, Shitaru, Wolfcrad, Fearless, Vanderbeast, Akira Zero, Lyris Dragon, Legend of Morad, Get to the Boat, Scotty Doggy, J-Post, and Lizzie! We had a huge train to start the day off, and the bits did not stop coming. Someone should make a song about that. No, but seriously, thank you so much. That and donations is what keeps us going. To Catfiend, Rhymes and Moose, and again Lizzie, thank you for being the best mods I could ask for. And Prolo! You brought a Raiden. That's really fucking cool. Thank you. Okay, so I offer you... No, they went offline. The fucking cheek of it. Lyris, thank you. Okay. Okay, I got two choices for you, friends. I got two choices. I can offer you Warframe, or I can offer you Helldivers 2. Diving from space, or ninjas in space. What strikes your fancy? And whoever we head on over to, you will need to be both our greeters and thankers, because I'm literally going to have to skedaddle to get the dogs out. Get to the boat with, like, Helldivers. Alright, we can do that. You were quickest. Hindle, I hope sleep is kind to you, friend. Because I was about to say, fucking someone here in the long ship needs to be able to get some sleep. Dustin, we are bringing our adventures to a close. Because of reasons. So, alright. So I'm passing you over to Aline... I can never say it because they have the alphanumeric thing. So another Seattle streamer who is currently doing a... They're currently on a stream until hired spree. They've been going for 11 days straight, and are currently on hour 35. Must have fallen asleep in the background. Thank you so much for grabbing those clips, but I need you all to go on over there, be chaotic representation of the House Longship. You know, grubs and emotes. Please send them my love and explain that I have to rush away, again, to get dogs out. But yeah, this was a really fucking good day, alright, friends? If you see me later in Discord, come say hi howdy. But I'll be kind of torn between, like, maybe trying to get those last Sea of Thieves in before the timer, or making another horror video, because I do like doing those. But whatever you do, have an excellent rest of your evening, friends, and to be continued.